Alright, looks like I'm live. Alright, looks like I'm good. Hello everyone, or no one. Welcome back to the stream that I almost didn't make it to. I, started recording, or I was just doing some stuff, and looked over, realized, oh crap, it's 6:50 right now. I should have started preparing like 5 minutes ago, so I'm glad I made this. Also, hi Saint. Welcome to what is possibly the last stream of this. Oh, hi Cake. How's it going? Because I've only got an hour and 20 left before the base is done. And I think you said that was all that was basically left to do? That once that's finished, I should have the final mission available? So before that happens, I am going to go retrieve the last soldiers. Tired. I'm playing a new Pokemon. There is a Pokemon farming game? Oh, hi Toasty. I'm quite tired, but don't think you'll be free from my torment. I never do. I always expect that you'll come in at the most unexpected moment to cause me pain and suffering. So, anyways, with that... Oh yeah, how is the new Resident Evil? I've been meaning to watch someone play that, but I just haven't had time with work and editing and all this other stuff. Did I say what we're doing? We're finding the Lost Mother Base soldiers, because there's a thing relating to that. Also, I'm sick, so there might be some nose blowing if I find a Kleenex that is not completely used up. I don't think I've ever played any of the, not Silent Hill. Resident Evil games. That word that you literally just said. Sliced my thumb open the other day cutting onions. Treated it just healed fine, then cut it open again today once more. You need... Oh, I forgot I had that going. You need to stop cutting onions. Pokemon game's called...
Be careful down there, boss.
I like that I can do that. It's called Popia. Highest ranked Pokemon game so far. Really? Huh. Oh, hi. Oh. Alright, well that wasn't a great start. Now you can keep talking, I know. I think the more people that talk... I don't know if this is true still, because YouTube loves to change how everything works every 5 seconds. But I think the more engagement I get in the chat is actually, you know, boosts the stream. So feel free to talk about whatever you want, no matter how insane it is. Well, that's not very subtle. Excuse me. Wasn't he just there? Oh. Ah. Okay. How do you dull knives that quickly? How is that even conceivable? I swear, we've got knives here that we've, like, almost never sharpened. Or we have sharpened them a little bit, but, you know, it's like we've owned them for decades at this point. Yeah, this guy is being an issue. Now, this guy is shockingly resilient to getting shot.
Approaching. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Well, now Quiet has no idea where he is. Lucky me. Did I see him with night vision? Maybe?
Marker placed. Marker
What?
removed.
I don't know why those are yellow. Are those like... Oh, are these destructible things? Oh, it does work. Wow, he's real flaily. And there he goes, fading into the distance. This guy is proving to be difficult.
Detected. The map has been updated.
Will you just fall over for the love of God, man? What is wrong with you? Wait a minute, the box thing. Hang on, Quiet, you stay here. I gotta go, I gotta do a thing. Oh, I'm good. I don't suppose you saw where he went, did you? What's the humming? Oh yeah, that's Quiet. She does that a lot whenever she's aiming at things. I kind of wish she didn't. It's very distracting.
That's the target.
You approaching me?
I remember him. He was off base during the attack 9 years ago. Bring him home, boss.
Hi.
Boss? Is that you? 9 years. 9 years.
One of the guys out on a mission at the time. He's fallen a long way from the glory days. But will he come back to us?
Well, he doesn't get a choice. I know I said it in the last stream,
Side op completed.
but I love the idea that that guy has just been wandering around,
Leave the rest to us.
just flailing through the desert for 9 years, just approaching random cardboard boxes and asking if they're snake. And somehow that's just been working perfectly for him. Like, look at some of these missions we have here. We got people in prison, like captured soldiers, of our guys who were captured within like the past year of the timeline here, and yet that guy has been sprinting through the desert high on like desert mushrooms and dehydration for 9 years, and somehow no one's got him. That is shockingly impressive. You see my game idea on Disc? Yes, I did, Toasty. It's an interesting one, but it is something. Probably would be kind of fun. Is there anything else I can do? Okay, was there anything else I want to do? Because I'm not doing that. I refuse. The only way I'm doing that mission is if I go in with a tank. Let's see. That is the closest one to me. Yeah, I might as well. Alright, quiet. Meet me there. I'll be stealing some tanks, I guess. I was kind of hoping there'd be a delivery point somewhere, but apparently not in random desert ruins. That's disappointing. Anyways, so I don't know how everyone else is doing, but I might be suffering here tonight because I spent all of yesterday, well, I was basically spent from I think 11 o'clock until 4 in the morning recording stuff, like for videos. And unfortunately, not one of those videos was routine, which I need to upload a video on Monday, which I don't have. Oh, you're sick too? Okay, well, everyone's getting sick, it seems. But yeah, I have to work on Saturday, so tomorrow. And I'm contemplating whether I stay up late to record some routine. It'd be the first time I've stayed up late on a work day for recording, and I'm not looking forward to it because I can barely function on a normal amount of sleep. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Where am I? Miles away from where I need to be. It wasn't extortionate prices. It was fairly reasonable. But yes, I finally got a whole bunch of schizo books for myself. Malleus Maleficarum is just a witch hunting manual, which you never know, you might need. Witches are abound. I got King James's demonology book, because before he commissioned a English Bible, he was really into demonology and all that stuff, so he wrote a whole book on it. Definitely the one I'm most intrigued about, and I'm going to be reading first, is that the Nephilim looked like clowns, and that modern clowns are just a form of spiritual warfare, invoking the Nephilim, and are, I believe, you know, blood memories of, you know, antediluvian giants that ate our flesh. So that's a cool one. That's gonna be fun. I do buy books and never read them. That is one thing I'll say that's really good about the job I have now. Every time I go on break, I read. And, actually, on that note, I just finished a book called Blind Sight. It's like a sci-fi book about... Well, the setting... Who dares acknowledge me? Stop it. You don't see me. Yes, Toasty, that is exactly accurate. Clowns are just Nephilim fursuits.
Enemy presence detected. The map
But yeah,
has been
Blindsight is
updated.
also a really great book that I would highly recommend. And it did exactly what I was hoping it would. It did make the aliens interesting, because it's a first contact thing. I read books for dweebs. I have a whole shelf full. This also includes a whole shelf of housing, all the video games I have. Do you remember when video games had cases? And it wasn't all downloadable stuff? I don't like downloadable games. I would love just a bookshelf full of, like, cartridges or,
The map
like,
has been
disc
updated.
cases and all that. I missed that. It had an aesthetic that I loved. But yeah, the thing about Blindsight is that it was
Analysis
kind of
complete.
framed.
Analysis complete.
Wait, is it just you two? What is this mission I'm doing? Oh, I thought this was tanks. Okay, I'm just grabbing some guys. Well, Toasty, if that's the case, I'm gonna have to be hunting you down at some point. Anyways, I'm gonna talk about Blindsight more, because it's, by Peter Watts, I believe, is the guy's name. Ooh. I miss a thunderstorm. We had one a little while ago. No, like last year sometime. Yeah, thunderstorms are awesome. Blindsight, it's framed as being a, first encounter story, but it's kind of not. It's a lot more about the psyche of, like, you know, human consciousness and all that. But more interestingly than that is the vampires. Because there are vampires in the book. And they are awesome and terrifying in their concept. Wait, do you not have a helmet?
Fire!
No, not that guy. The other guy! The other guy! Idiot! Thank you. Oh my god, quiet. You absolute failure of a human. Can I? Thank you. Excuse me. Yeah, the vampires are such an interesting idea where they're actually, they're not
Updated.
mystical or anything.
Extract
They're a
removal
branch of
stop.
humans that divert, or like sort of like a
Lab
Homo
host
sapien
captured.
or Neanderthal, like a subset of humans that branched off and developed a really weird brain thing that made them like super predators. But some problem with their brain is that they can't develop a certain hormone or enzyme that they need to function, which can only be found in humans. So they have to eat humans in order to survive and keep their brains functioning. But otherwise, they've got, like, you know, red eyes from the eye shine of being night predators. They can see in this really weird, like, way that isn't fully described, where essentially, like, their eyesight has perfectly evolved to hunting humans in, like, nomadic, like 700,000 years ago. But the problem with that is that they have the crucifix glitch, which is essentially when humans started developing civilization, their brain processing of optical information couldn't really square the idea of two overlapping right angles. Like, it completely messed with their brain and gave them seizures because they couldn't comprehend what was going on there. And, you know, that was misinterpreted as the cross, you know, warding off vampires. And, Also, they do kind of die. Like, they go into a torpor hibernation sleep because they breed at the same rate as humans, which is not a good thing for a predator, because usually prey animals breed at a much higher rate than predators so that there's more of them to go around, more of them survive, and the predators don't eat all of the prey and then starve themselves and everyone dies. So the vampires just die, or like, you know, go into a super deep sleep for like decades at a time, which also has the added benefit of being a long enough sleeping period that essentially humanity forgets that they exist. And when that means, like, you know, these primitive Stone Age hunter-gatherer humans, all the record you have of vampires is some elders around the fire telling stories of some demon that hunted you in the night, and it's like, yeah, whatever, that's just folklore. And then 10 years, like, you know, 70 years after they were last seen, like a full generation or two passes with no one having ever experienced them, suddenly the vampires rise from the dead and start eating people again. Excuse me. But that's also why they died, because they slept so long that at one point they woke up to find humans had invented civilization with a lot of right angles that didn't exist in nature, and that just killed them off.
Enemy presence detected.
It's really interesting
Updated.
backdrop for them, like for the setting, and I'd highly recommend the book. It is very good. Sorry, I'm talking too much is making me cough. Give me 1 second. I did not hear about a Generation 10 of Pokemon. I have no idea what generation we're on. I've never really played any Pokemon games. Yeah, so vampires aren't technically immortal. They are a remaining life force of a person they feed off of. This in mind, with this in mind, I'm assuming you meant. Archaeologists find a cave completely stacked with skeletal remains of a lot of people, and the thing that fed on these people has been trapped in the cave for so long it's been alive since the time of early humans. Yeah, that's okay. Good start. God, I think I'm dying. Have I ever mentioned that how much I love vampires as a concept? Like, conceptually, I think they're one of the most interesting creatures. Or, monsters. Always keep a pocket of rice grains handy. I think that's demons.
Detected. The map has been updated.
Aren't demons the ones that have, or is that beans? I know that's the thing with some demons, is that you throw beans at them because they're hyper OCD and autistic, and they have to count them. Like, there's 100 beans on the floor, they have to count all of them, otherwise they just lose their minds. Oh good, you're getting an intense storm. Well, intense storms are fun. I used to live in Alberta, and we had some great thunderstorms there. I thought demons did that too. Huh. But for demons, it's beans. Oh, you guys are in a flood zone. Yeah, that sucks. That is weird that... See, that almost feels like another one of those things that... Just those weird connections of Isn't that a thing in Japan too? Like you throw beans at the Oni to make them go away. There's lots of things like that, like kind of shared cultural ideas that it's like, where did this come from? Was there actually some like super OCD creatures in the past that just could not resist the idea of having to look at the beans and count them? And of course, the problem with that is if you're talking about some vampires, like the ones in Blind Sight, their mindset is developed, like they've got like fourth dimensional thinking, like they're 1,000 steps ahead of everything. So it's like, yeah, you throw the beans at the ground, they just glance at it with their, you know, hyper autism brains and just like, there's 751 grains of rice on the ground, time to eat you, and they just don't care. Like it would be a problem. Why is there a thing behind me? Oh, that. Also, quiet, why are you over there? Come here. Come hither. Yeah, Asian mythology is also utterly bizarre. I like the Japanese one that, oh god, that's death. I'd recommend you look into it because almost every demon or monster in Asian mythology has meaning behind it. Well, I mean, all of them do. Usually. In any culture. It's just maybe they've preserved what their original meaning was prior, or better than Western civilization. Whereas we kind of fell into the concept of the actual monster rather than the, I don't know, the symbolism of what it exactly is. That reminds me, apparently, they've determined that, or scientists are starting to think, yeah, that kind of crazy conspiracy about, that essentially the Dark Ages never existed might kind of be true. Because supposedly, they've never found any records of the Dark Ages having existed. Like, no skeletons, no artifacts, no swords, no houses, like nothing from the supposed Dark Ages. Which is interesting because, hi, you're not a real human, that's fine. Because in the Dark Ages, they didn't actually exist, because the idea is that Charlemagne, I believe, and one of the popes invented the Dark Ages and just made up a rough 300 years of history so that they could be the Pope and King of the Holy Roman Empire at the turn of the century, or turn of the millennium, I can't remember which. So they just fabricated history to make that happen, and that we're actually... Really, I can't climb this? We're actually closer to the year 1700 than 2000. Who sees me? Is it you? It's not you. No one sees me. You're all delusional. You are also delusional. Look at all these drugs in your brain. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Oh yeah, the don't eat rice. You just alerted the seven-legged spider monkey. And it's going to make you... It's going to make you uncook rice. I don't know what that means, Toasty, but that is... That sounds weirdly accurate. Hey, man. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Quiet. Quiet. Shoot the guy, please. Shoot. He is shooting. Quiet. Quiet. Thank you. Yeah, the Germans loved their death fairy tales. It probably kept the children out of the forest, though, so, you know, who can really argue with it? Let's get out of here.
Helicopter listed.
Oh my god, I'm 30 minutes into this. I used up all of my insane ramblings way too early on. I could talk about fairy tales. It's not just the German ones. I think all of them. Like, I'm pretty sure the Little Mermaid is Danish or Dutch.
Marker removed.
And that's the one where she has to murder someone or get her tongue ripped out. Or someone throws themselves into the ocean. I can't... No, wait. She turns into sea foam, doesn't... No, that's Aphrodite. I can't remember, but someone definitely... She has to, like, murder someone in order to become a mermaid again. Oh, you know another interesting thing I've noticed? I've seen this in a few animes, where they describe wolves as being, like in fantasy-type animes, wolf-type monsters are described as being the strongest, most badass, most terrifying monsters that exist. And I had a realization about that and looked it up. The Japanese did not eliminate all of the wolves in their country until, I think the 1800s? Hang on.
Extraction arrived at
Indeed.
Mother Base.
1905. The Japanese didn't kill off all of their wolves until 1905,
Psyops list updated.
whereas the British got rid of all of their wolves in sometime between the 15th and 17th century. One saying that it was around 1390. So I just thought that was interesting because it's like, oh, the reason the Japanese
Please select
have this, like, you know, kind of cultural idea that wolves are the most horrifying monster is because they eliminated them way later than the British did. Because the wolves are an absolute nightmare on civilization. That is just a thing that people had to deal with at one point. Oh my god, I don't care about this stupid dog. Alright, goodbye. This is not where I wanted to be. I should have a shower. So yeah, I just realized that's like, oh my god, yeah, the Japanese dealt with them so much later. So of course they would still view them as a massive existential threat and a powerful, horrifying monster in their at least cultural mindset. Whereas I don't think the British really think that way. Because of course they wiped them out not 100 years
Please
ago, but
select
like
a delivery point.
800 years ago or something. German bedtime story. One day a little boy did not eat all of his food. So... Oh god, I'm gonna butcher that. Das Hoden Verstumelung came to him and obliterated him. Pretty much, yes. The child... I don't know. I was trying to come up with something and failed. Don't ignore me. I gotta get out of here before I get copyright struck. And give my anime waifu a lovely photograph that will probably not make her explode. Quite yet. Or she will explode everywhere right off the bat. Hey, how's it going? I don't even know what I'm giving you. I didn't look at it yet.
What is it, Snake?
This picture of a lobster.
Chico. I wonder what he thinks of me.
Oh, some random kid.
I have not seen him lately. Maybe he is angry.
I think he's dead.
There is something I am hiding from Chico.
You want to tell me what that is?
I thought there was.
I don't actually know what happened to Chico. I'm going to assume he exploded.
It was. And then I... No, that is not right. But I am an angel of peace. I am a student.
You said that a couple times now.
I am so tired. I will just lie here.
Nope, that
a
just
while.
evaporated. Alright, good night. I'm sure the next time I see you, you won't literally explode all over me. Wait, did I miss one? Hey, I might have a new... excuse me, I might have a new photograph for you. I'll be back later, don't you worry. What? I don't know why the lobster's in the back rooms, but I'll not question it. Okay, so where are we with things? Mine clearing. Probably a mother base soldier wandering around here somewhere. Let's go to Africa and blow shit up. That seems fun. I'm gonna try to talk now, because I don't want this... Hopefully talking over it will prevent copyright claims, because apparently that's been a real issue. Oh, and on that note, I don't know if I've mentioned this in any stream prior, Death Stranding is coming to PC at the end of the month, I believe. So that's awesome. I'm gonna be, I need to make sure I finish routine quickly then, because I want to get on that immediately. The one problem is I don't know if it's going to work on my PC or if I'm going to have to use my Legion. Which, if it does do that, that's going to be a real problem for me because of the limited battery life I have. Like, I'm going to have to figure out a solution to that pretty quickly. Alternatively, and this is an option that I really don't want to use, I can hold the console and use it as a controller, which isn't a great option because it's terrible. It's so wide and awkward. But that would theoretically allow me to, have it plugged in at the same time.
Please select a mission.
I might have an alternate solution to that, though, if I can find something that I would need.
Unit dispatched.
Anyways. I really want to go to Greece. Is it the island of Ithaca? Why do I know that island? What is it? Is there a myth about that island? Because it sounds familiar.
Please select a landing heading to Central Africa.
Ithaca. Why do I know Ithaca?
Deploying.
Oh, home to Odysseus, right, that's of course. Man, I am so not looking forward to that Odyssey movie. It looks atrocious. The armor just disgusts me so much. There was a video someone did where they used AI to put authentic kind of like Bronze Age style armor over top of everyone instead of the goofy Hollywood armor, and it looks so good. Like, man, I want authentic Bronze Age movie look. It would be so good.
Be careful down there, boss.
The Bronze Age was absolutely insane. Excuse me. Like, utterly psychotic. I believe there's someone who was talking about it at one point. It's like, yeah, you know, this was around the era where you had, like, really advanced civilizations developing, people using, like, cast bronze weapons and making intricate armor and these great structures, and then just over there you have, like, literal raw eat-meating troglodyte barbarians in the wilderness, just at, like, these things are just happening at the same time, and why? Who knows? It's just, this is existence at the time. It's kind of insane. Which, I mean, is kind of true for any time period. Oh, well, you're not going to be easy to get to. Like, I'm sure you go anywhere, there's some kind of, like, barbarian hordes out in the wilderness.
Buddy has infiltrated out. The map has been updated.
Some might be closer than you even think.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
This is gonna be rough.
The map has been updated.
I'm terribly sorry I beat the hell out of you there. That was actually a complete accident.
The map has been updated.
Anyone looking over here? You guys might see this, but I also don't want you waking up, so go to space. Thank you.
You gonna extract him?
You see nothing? Perfect. Bretonians laying in ponds and lakes while Rome was conquered. Almost all of... Yeah, that was kind of a thing too, is the British were not in a good way. No one really was. Like, everyone was living in mud huts, and then the Romans were down there just building civilization. Excuse me. I realize I haven't talked in a long time, but that's fine. Oh, really? I can't crawl under the table? Are you serious? Hi, sir. I really wish you didn't do that. Anyways, could you, go to space for me? Now, those two are definitely going to be a
Coming too.
problem.
Roger that.
Yeah, I... See, that is another thing I find funny. Like, they went into Germania, just the worst place ever, where multiple legions just vanished into the unknown. The Germans were, like, actual monsters as far as they were concerned. Like, they did shit that no one else did. Like, I think there was one story of some Roman soldiers just coming upon... What? Oh my god, that guy is possessed. Quiet! 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 Shoot him! Shoot him! Thank you. There was a time, a case of, like, some Roman soldiers coming upon these, random German barbarians, and while they're on horseback and the Germans are just on the ground, and the first thing the Germans do is they run up to the Roman soldiers and just kill their horses immediately, and they all fall off their horses and, you know, are just on the ground and getting shanked by Germans, and this baffled the Romans to no end, because their thoughts like, you don't kill the horses. Do you have any idea how valuable these are? Like, horses are expensive. They are extremely useful tactical equipment in this time period, and you just killed them like it was nothing. And that was just the daily life of people stationed in Germania. And then they get to Scotland and decide, nah, just build a wall. We want nothing to do with those people. Like, they didn't do that with the Germans. They did that with the Scots. So, presumably, whatever was going on up there was even worse than that. I am not going to repeat what you just said there, Saint. That is horrifying and awful. Many of the tactics of the Bretonians were to ride in on chariots at high speed and then just fucked off. Yep. And not wear clothes. They painted themselves blue, with magic, blue dye mixed with human shit in all likelihood. Coated themselves in it, and then thought, we're now immortal. We can't be killed because we got the blue goo on us. Oh yeah, the Celts. Was it? Yeah, the Celts. And presumably the Romans, like, loaded up with their steel-plated armor and their big tower shields and all that, were just looking at these people. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with these barbarians? Just phalanx them, just spear the lot of them. And then they just did. What a weird time to be alive. And any general who did even remotely well at anything was just declared to be the new emperor by his soldiers, and then he had to go and sack Rome for their sake and try to do a coup. And then you become... and then miraculously, you win. You become the emperor, and then within a month, the Praetorian guards will shank you in the back because you're not paying them enough. Oh, 32 minutes. Wow, that's actually going along faster than I expected. Huh. Was there a... There is no place to travel here, so we're just gonna... Ooh, there is there. Okay, we're gonna go to the airport.
Marker placed.
and then teleport ourselves at once we get there. Quiet, meet me there. Meet me in this place.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
What was I just talking about? Scots? I think I was talking about the Scots. I really need this cold to go away. The constant need to clear my throat is driving me insane. I don't know why, but now I feel the need to talk about Elizabeth Bathory. And I can't exactly deduce why. Anyways, Elizabeth Bathory was a Hungarian countess, I believe. And she was absolutely psychotic. Like, total serial killer. Satanist. I think her whole family kind of admitted to, yeah, we're Satanists, we do that sort of stuff. And she was the one who just thought, you know what? I'm determined that the best anti-aging properties can be found in the blood of young women. So I'm gonna murder a whole heap of women. I think the story was she was beating one of her servants, as you do, and after doing so, noticed that like the blood on her hand, because apparently she was beating the blood out of this poor servant girl, noticed like, oh, that blood is weirdly sparkly for some reason. Probably because there was candlelight or something that was reflecting off of it and it just looked pretty. And somehow she determined that that meant blood will regenerate my body. I can become young forever if I bathe in the blood of young women. So then she just started kidnapping and murdering tons of women and bathing in their blood, because, you know, why wouldn't you? Typical rich people activities, if we're being honest.
Marker removed.
Really not that out of the ordinary nowadays, but back then that was quite a big deal for an aristocrat to be doing something so psychotic. Sorry. Wales got the worst of it, invaded heavily by Danes, yep, who just used them to get into England, conquered by Rome, who stayed a tad bit too long, then whoever was left just had poor soil and sheep to work with. And that's when they realized all of our woes can be solved with these sheep. And the rest is horrible, horrible history. I feel like I'm hearing the whispering of the damned every time I open a portal to the Netherverse. That's probably normal.
Your destination. Please select a delivery point.
But yeah, they immured Bathory, I think. I think they, instead of killing her, they just locked her in her room and then bricked up the entrance and left her to starve. Which is pretty cool. Good punishment for someone who seems suspiciously vampiric.
The map has been updated.
Which way am I going? I'm assuming I want to go out towards the fields. Kind of. Also, I just noticed there's claymores, so that's not cool. It's weird. I don't know if it's different in England, But you really don't hear much about the Welsh, do you? Like, you hear about the Scots and the Irish and the English, but you hear almost nothing about the Welsh.
That's the target.
So I don't know what they're doing over there, except for horrible things to the sheep. I can make it. Alright. Now, are these the kind of things that have big guns on them that look around and want to shoot me? That is a very big gun.
Analysis complete.
A lot of Welsh history is really just the history of outside forces occupying Wales. Well, you know, sometimes they deserve it.
Analysis complete. The map has been updated.
If your most important note in history is getting conquered, maybe that's just your lot in life. And maybe you should get good.
Enemy
Is that a person?
detected.
That is a person.
The map has analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Ooh, these guys are actually pretty damn good. Oh no, what insight have you made, Toasty? Okay, he'll be down in a moment. And if he's not down fast enough, I'll choke him out. Never mind. Loser? Oh, I'm taking your mortar as well.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Yeah, that's actually another thing I really hate about having a cold. Hang on, I need to read what Toasty said while it's still topical. Also, the only known reason she got caught, oh, I'm assuming you mean Bathory, was that she kidnapped a noble young lady, kidnapped the poor, and bathed in their blood. That's fine. Kidnap a noble... Well, I mean, yeah, you're not really supposed to do it to your own. It's... I don't know how they did it in Hungary at the time, but I'm assuming they had serfs. Which, serfs are technically property. They're not quite slaves, but they're pretty close. Which means you really get to do whatever you want with them, so, you know, you can kind of just... You know, bathe in their blood whenever it so pleases you. Pleases? Pleases or appeases. Man, not one of you even noticed a whole ass tank disappearing into the ether. Pathetic. This is why Africa's still a third world country. Serfs have the opportunity to be promoted to higher status by their masters. I mean, yeah, I think you kind of... everyone did, to a certain extent. And I think the benefit of being a serf was that while you were technically property, you came as a package deal with your land. So the land that you were assigned and forced to live on and work on was technically, in a roundabout way, yours, and you couldn't be separated from it. If you got sold to another nobleman, your land got sold as well. Like, you transferred with it, which is kind of cool. Like, all in all, serfdom really probably wasn't that bad. This is also going to be a hot take, but slavery also not as bad as it could have been. Because the real people who had it rough were the indentured servants in America. Because the thing with slavery is a slave is essentially a lifetime investment. You buy them and then you have them for the rest of their lives. So you don't want to, like, wear them out too early. You don't want to break them, like,
Leave the rest to us.
because then you've just wasted an entire lifespan's worth of work on maybe, what, like 5 years or something? Not a very good idea. Very dumb. However, indentured servants had a sentence. You could only own an indentured servant for so long, which, it was sort of like a prison sentence, basically, that you weren't really a person until they decided that your sentence had expired. I'll just choke you out. Hey, stop. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. But yeah, I mean, yes, Roman slaves, you had a real range of things that could happen to you. But in terms of America, a lot of indentured servants were actually like political dissidents from Britain, sent over as prisoners or indentured servants just to get them out of the way. And the thing about them is, because of that whole concept of we kind of, you have a limited sentence here, like I only have you for 5 years, unlike a slave who you have forever, the indentured servants would probably, like, literally be worked to death, because, you know, if they die during their term, well, they just clearly weren't, that was their fault, that's their problem, things happen. So it's like, we will work you to the bone, to death, because we've only got you for 5 years, so we're getting our absolute maximum amount of money out of you that we can. And that would have sucked. Roman slavery had a very wide range of what could be, what could happen to you. Because it wasn't simply, slaves could earn their freedom. They were always treated as the lowest class, but they had freedom from servitude. Yes, but also, sometimes you wouldn't want that, because, yes, you could be a slave that turns into a gladiator, or gets put into the gladiator pits, and you have to fight lions and barbarians and other slaves, and that would suck. However, it was a really wide range. Like, you could also just be, essentially, just a household worker. You could even have an education, like, you could have, like, your accountant, your living, like, housing, financer or something could just be a slave. And there were even, I think, some stories or accounts of these slaves, like, you know, they would be dressed up well. Like, they would be treated really well and, like, be dressed in fine clothes and all that, because what is a better sign of wealth than, look how well even my slaves are dressed? Like, that is a status symbol. And they would even look down on the lower classes themselves, despite them being slaves. So it's like, yeah, it was a real wide range of what you could end up as in the Roman Empire. It was a wild time. Like, it wasn't necessarily the way we view it now, because in the modern times, I feel like 90% of the views of what slavery is chalked up entirely to the American experience, whereas slavery's been happening since since they developed the morality to take slaves rather than just genocide an entire population. Because that is another one of those weird takes. Slavery is a moral good compared to the alternative, which was a total extermination of this populace. There was probably a time, probably Bronze Age, quite often, where it's just like, no, we don't take prisoners. We are taking this city, and we will kill literally every single living creature within this walls. Nothing survives. And then someone decided to be a bit more moral about it. It's like, hey, what if we took them as, like, prisoners and put them to work, rather than just, you know, executing, like, thousands of people. It was, so yeah, it was actually technically a moral development. Well, I don't think I'm getting into this thing, because now everyone's alert. But yeah, because of the weird issues that, Nope, I can't. Okay. How do I get to that next place? You know what, let's head back to, Mother Base, because apparently I've got another picture that I could give to... what's her name? Well, this might not work out in my favor. This worked out perfectly in my favor. He didn't see anything. Yeah, like, it was... Like I said with the Romans, you could either be literally forced to fight for the rest of your life, no matter how short that may be, or you could just be a house servant, and it's honestly kind of, like, it's pretty good, all things considered. Which I think was kind of, well, I think that was basically true in America as well. Like, again, you could be working the fields, you could just be essentially a non-paid maid or butler. Or you could probably be put into the Django Unchained situation, and like, yeah, we just have like death battles here, and it's kind of really fucked up. But you know, that's just kind of what happens. History is fucked up. And sometimes that's a thing that people can't really seem to deal with. Korea actually had the longest and most prominent slave trade out of any country. I know, I love that video. I'm sure you know which one I mean. The one where the guy's like, oh, well, Korea didn't have any slaves. Like, what are you talking about? They had tons of slaves. Like, no, but not as bad as anyone else. And they look it up, it's like, oh, it's got the longest unbroken chain of slavery of any country in the world. It was like 1,500 years or something. Which, like, wow, that is a rough revelation to find out live on a podcast.
Side ops list updated.
Yeah, basically, that's another one of those things. Literally everyone did it.
Please select
because it was kind of profitable. Which, I've wondered that. Is slavery actually profitable? Because this might be looking at it from a more capitalist, modern mindset than a agrarian mindset that was present during other times of slavery. Is it a good thing to have slaves? Because then you've got more mouths to feed, more people in a system, but because they're not getting paid, they don't have the money to contribute to the economy. They can't pay into it, they can't, you know, they don't feed into the system like a normal free person would. So it's like, is that actually a good thing to have? I mean, there's lots of moral quandaries about slavery that you could argue with, but from an economic standpoint, is it actually beneficial, or is it, you know, more of a problem than it's worth? I mean, that's true, but the thing is, you don't have to feed a tool. You don't have to clothe and house and bathe the tool. You do that with people. So it kind of seems like you would be at a net loss. It would be very expensive to maintain them. And because they're not have no way of paying back into the system that is funding them, it's almost like their work, it's kind of a welfare state almost. Hi. Is this the one that's going to make you explode?
What is it, Snake?
Let's find out. I've got a picture of a football.
Football. I joined in.
Yes.
And there's Huey refereeing.
What?
He said, "We have forsaken our countries and become one with the earth."
Nerd. Hippie.
It is good being here together with everyone.
Oh, you
know?
don't know. We exiled Huey.
It was.
We sent him off on a raft into the void. He might be dead.
And then I... No, that is not right. But I am an angel of peace. I am a student.
You keep saying that. I don't think you know what that means.
I'm sorry, Snake. My head hurts. Could you let me rest?
All right. Do you not have a shower? Do we not give you a shower in here? Holy crap. Okay, I'll get that sorted out. That's...
The real me.
What?
I am...
Okay, yes, I suppose that's true for tractors and all that. Maybe it does even out. I don't know. I'm not an expert on the economics of such things. I suppose that's fair. And I suppose if you had, like, oxen to pull your plows and all that, that would kind of be the same situation. Anyways, what am I doing? This stream is probably going to have a terrible time with how many times I've mentioned slavery. Can I develop anything fun?
Please specify a project.
I think I should develop a machine gun. I cannot develop a machine gun. Shit. Oh, you know what I can do? This is all done, which means I can start just hammering away at this stuff.
Commencing platform construction.
That, and let's go support.
Commencing platform construction.
Wagons, for example, needed to be hauled by beasts of burden. Yep. You gotta feed, maintain... Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking there. It's like, yeah, I guess it's kind of... would be on the same level of we kind of have to keep these things around to keep the system flowing. I guess that makes sense. God, I will never get over the level of just how little stuff there is in this game. Like, how those little support beams are just 2D planes. It's so bizarre. I really do put way too much work into my supposed low poly stuff when this is not low poly, apparently. Okay, so what am I doing now? Oh! I actually succeeded in that mission. Ooh. That could have been worse. How's the money? Oh, that's a good payout. Totally worth it.
Please select a mission.
suppose that's kind of true. Yeah, that they just had such an excess of slaves that they kind of devalued it. That is actually a good point. They could just buy those. Whereas, of course, that wasn't really the case for Rome. They kind of had to go out and actually, like, conquer people to get their slaves. It was a full-on war economy.
Unit dispatched.
In order to get that done. So I suppose that does make sense that they kind of couldn't really afford to be too picky with things. I suppose, yeah. Then again, you say that, the funny thing is there's currently more slaves now than there ever were under colonialism or any other period of time. We just don't worry about it because it's not happening in the West. So not our problem. Which, to be fair, is true. It's not really our problem to solve the rest of the world's issues. That actually really fucked up the British Empire. Like, the British decided to be the moral good guys and end slavery worldwide. And they had a hell of a time just sacking Spanish ships, which, you know, always based. But it was kind of not great for them economically. Like, I think it was 2014 was when they finally paid off all of their debts from ending slavery. So, which I think it probably started around like the mid to late 1800s. So that's like 200 plus years of paying off the debts of doing what you consider to be a moral good. And then the empire collapses partially because of the Americans and the Russians colluding together to, at the end of World War II, to collapse the British Empire. And then slavery comes back immediately and worse than ever. So, you know, it's like when that's a situation, it's like, you know what? I don't think it was worth it. You guys, all you savages around the world, do whatever the hell you want. Not our problem. If you guys can't maintain the moral integrity that we have created for you, then have fun doing whatever nonsense barbarian crap you're doing. That's not my problem. Anyways, with the most... This is going to be a very controversial stream, and I feel like YouTube is not going to like it. So, what are we doing now? There's still... one more wandering Mother Base soldier somewhere. I've talked about that on stream before, haven't I? Where I live, on Vancouver Island, there are numerous very small islands all over the place that have, like, extremely low populations, like 100 people, maybe 1,000 at most. Maybe not even that. And there's some remote areas kind of up north. It's like, you and your buddies, you could totally raid one of these islands and just take it over, and probably no one would even notice. Like, you could island hop like Vikings from one island to another, just taking over the place, and no one would notice. Or, like, I would bet years. And it would be hilarious. Like, it would be so funny to just, like, yeah, so we kind of got some, like, little, speedboats. Like, we bought a yacht, armed it a little bit, got all of the homies, and then just invaded a small island off the coast of, BC. And would the populace really care, is the thing. Like, if you went over there, I guarantee they'd have, like, a small police force of maybe 30 people at best. Maybe 100 at worst. Probably no military bases. Man, that is very unsubtle. And if you just, you know, decided, alright, we're just gonna come in, not even kill anyone, just show up with more guns and better equipment than the local police, walk into the town hall or whatever they've got, and just say, hey, I own this place now.
Detected. The map has
Like, this
been
island
updated.
belongs to me. Like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna say about that? It's like, no, you can't do that. It's like, I literally have you hostage
Body has
immediately.
infiltrated analysis
That's the
complete.
target.
Analysis
Like, I
complete.
could...
Analysis
Very remote
complete.
islands, somewhere in the Indian
Analysis
Ocean or something.
complete.
Oh, that would be even easier, because there wouldn't theoretically be
Analysis
anyone who
complete.
even could react.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Like, you'd be golden.
The map has been updated. Guard post captured.
Well, that was easy. Hello, prisoner. I have come to save you. Yeah, like, that is a thing that I have thought about that a lot too. Is like, theoretically, there is absolutely no reason that you couldn't just be Vikings.
Subject is in.
Well, that
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
side op. What happened?
Please select a mission.
Something failed. That was disturbing. Ooh, I got all of the bases.
Complete.
That's unfortunate. I am still way bogged down with too many people. But I have all of the bases now, so I'm gonna head back to Mother Base after I... Let's see... I'm just gonna head back to Mother Base now, why not? I would kind of like this to be the last episode.
Please select a support helicopter.
Because the thing is...
requested.
I mean, this is episode 20. It would be kind of nice if I could finish the game on episode 20. I think the only things... Saint, if you're still there watching or listening to us ramble, other than finishing the thing with... like, I dealt with Quiet, I got that whole thing resolved. I just have to wait for the last Mother Base soldier to show up before I can finish the thing with Paz. Is there anything else I need to do before finishing the game?
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly.
Because as far as I'm concerned, that's the last real, like, plot point to beat.
This is Pequod. On station at LC. Gaining altitude.
Listen to all yellow cassettes as well. Oh my god, I have so many of those, though. I have infinite yellow cassettes. Oh, alright.
Departing.
How about we do that when we get back, then?
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Oh. Well, hell yeah. The current condition of Greece, you would probably buy an island from them and they'd likely let you. I bet they would. Ooh. I can become the UN. Oh, good. I'm thrilled.
Side ops list updated.
Boss, your heroic deeds appear to have earned the respect of other PFs. Now you'll be able to infiltrate rival PFs' FOBs without having to worry about their nuclear deterrent.
Yay.
You'll get one over on these guys who've escaped retaliation thanks to their nukes.
What does that mean? I think I'm just gonna have to do more side ops. Because the last Mother Base Soldier one isn't popping up. Okay, I really have to listen to all of these, do I? Hang on, I want to get rid of this. It's actually kind of annoying. Should do a new Vegas playthrough. No, I will not.
You were hospitalized in Dekelia, a British sovereign base area on Cyprus. It's part of British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction.
I don't know what that is.
You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain. Why Dekelia? The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system. That's what kept you safe in
Apparently
British military
not.
hospital for 9 years. The safest place from a whale is inside its own belly. You were a regular Geppetto.
Well, it wasn't Pinocchio who led me out to safety. So who was that guy?
Cypher went so far as to attack British territory, burning their own ally. That's how badly they wanted you dead.
He said I was in a British military hospital. But the doctor had a Greek accent.
They hire locally. Easier to trust them. Dekelia is also home to Greek Cypriots, after all.
What about the Turks? They haven't returned to the
Ooh.
south.
Not yet. The Cyprus dispute is still a long way from resolved. The country is just as split as it was in '74. Turkish Cypriots in the north, Greek Cypriots in the south. Between them, the Green Line, the UN established.
Boo.
Dekelia sits right on top of it.
It does. Part of the buffer zone between the two groups. Another reason it was the perfect place to hide you. Easy to spot any outsiders snooping around.
So how do things stand?
Last year, the Turks declared that the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is an independent state, though it's only Turkey that recognizes it. In the past, the Greeks and Turks lived side by side in the same villages. There are reasons to fight. Those came from the outside. Greece.
No.
Britain, and America.
The Turks and
They all
Greeks have
their
always
own
hated
stake
each
in pitting
other.
the two sides against each other. But once you spark something like this, it's impossible to control. Both sides build up grudges like debt, without the foresight to see that each act of revenge just fans the flames, and then it's too late for other nations to rush in with peace talks. The embers keep on smoldering. Each nation's arrogance only breeds anarchy. The world is paralyzed by this hunger for revenge. Cyprus is no different.
Alright, I think also you need to be taught about the puckle gun. I realize this isn't important, but also it's like, well, I might as well see all the stuff relating to it.
We're changing ships.
We can't go sailing the Suez in a whaler.
The
Why not?
Suez Canal. When did they reopen it?
Not long after you were attacked. Once they finished sweeping it for mines after the Arab-Israeli conflict. Can you stand? We've got to transfer it to a container ship for passage through the Suez. Our destination is Pakistan, Afghanistan's neighbor to the south.
Not a great
There,
place
we
to be.
disembark and head via Peshawar to the Zero Line, the border. We'll travel to the Khyber Pass by road.
And then?
Continue on horseback. Afghanistan's main roads are under Soviet control. We'll need to go around them. It'll be all narrow, winding paths through the mountains. We'll do better on horseback. It's a local guerrilla tactic. They use the higher ridges to avoid air recons. Then they charge down the mountains for ambushes. The Soviets still haven't devised a counter strategy. Our time frame is only half as much as we really need. It'll be a tough march.
Better horses than boats.
Well, it'll make for good physiotherapy. Take the time to get used to that new arm.
While the Soviets have indicated they are not participating in the Los Angeles Olympics, primarily because the United States has made no attempt to guarantee the safety of the Soviet Union's athletes, the United States is increasingly demonstrating...
I know Kojima has 100% got several filled notepads of the lore of Metal Gear and everything that has happened in Metal Gear in other countries. But come on, Greeks and Turks, yeah, I know.
But the issue has nothing to do with its preparation.
He's a bit of an optimist about relationships between peoples, I think.
And in fact, this is retaliation for the Western nations' boycott of the previous Moscow Olympics. That concludes today's news.
That's quite some news.
The Soviet Union not attending the LA Olympics? Yeah. Andropov's death has changed some things.
Who?
They're calling it revenge for the Western boycott of the Moscow Olympics.
I just heard the same. They just said that.
Yes. In protest of the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan. Over 50 countries were absent. It's too bad I didn't get to see Yamashita's judo. When the 40th Army crossed the Amu River 4 years ago, détente went right out the window. The U.S. Congress chose not to ratify SALT II, and Reagan's hardline politics won in the presidency in a landslide. According to him, the Soviet Union's an evil empire.
The Second Cold War.
And
Second?
there's been no end to regional conflicts and civil wars. Lebanon, the Falklands, Grenada, Iran,
Grenada,
Iraq.
idiot.
The story never changes. Egypt and Israel did sign a peace treaty. But then the driving force on the Egyptian side, President Sadat, was assassinated afterward. Apparently, his actions were considered a betrayal of his fellow Arabs.
Yeah, they would kind of think that.
Yes. Fundamentalist extremists have been responsible for some bold acts of terrorism in recent years. We've had extremist students in Iran take U.S. embassy workers hostage, and suicide bombings in Lebanon. Over 300 foreign soldiers stationed there have been killed. The countries have yet to develop an effective means of dealing with terrorism.
Shoot them all.
Afraid of losing their own men, they've pulled their forces out, handing private forces a golden opportunity.
Now, this is a thing. The Soviets actually did have a way of preventing that from happening in Afghanistan. It was that literally anyone who got even remotely close to their bases get shot. Like, you come within 100 meters of a Soviet base, they kill you. It literally doesn't matter who you are. If you're, like, you know, suspicious-looking guy, goat herder, random children playing in the desert, it does not mean shit to them. They shoot you on sight. Which, on one hand, seems excessive and brutal, but on the other hand, the American soldiers, when they were in Afghanistan, were, like, handing out candy to children who, wandered into the base or around there. And then those children would leave the base and then go tell the terrorists where to bomb them. Because they were working with them all along, and they knew that it's like, yeah, they're not going to shoot children. They're not like the Soviets. So it's like, yeah, it really is one of those awkward situations of like, well, that sounds morally wrong to just shoot anyone you see, even slightly close to your base. But also, you kind of just gotta shoot anyone who gets even slightly close to your base. It's just the way it has to be.
Small armies with no national affiliation, working for the highest bidder. That's right, they got the idea from you. After Mother Base went down, they began spreading to meet the soaring demand. Miller's organization is just one of many PFs now. The entire world is after you. But at the same time, it needs you too.
Oh good, this will actually explain what happened.
In the Caribbean 9 years ago. You do remember Miller. You'd formed a private army with him. An army with no allegiance to a nation.
I remember, but...
I see. You're not sure what's fact and what's a fantasy caused by the coma. It's still all a mess, huh? All I can do is tell you the facts as they were told to me. I've gone easy on you up until now. But this is where the hard stuff begins. 1974, the year before you entered your coma. You were in Colombia, operating with a small unit of men, basically mercenaries. Miller was among them. Miller was trying to find a way to turn his and your talents into a line of work. He was looking to start a business where you would fight on behalf of others around the world, those who needed military force. But the reality was, at that time, you didn't have enough gear to equip your own men. Then Miller came across this client. It was a huge job he was offering, but you had a shot at pulling it off. You accepted it and headed into Costa Rica. The client even threw in an offshore facility in the Caribbean. The mother base, that would be your new base of operations. Miller sure did have a head for business. As your mission went on, your unit grew and grew. More weapons, more money. Before you knew it, you were commanding 300 men. As the organization got bigger, your military powers swelled to match. It got so the international community couldn't afford to ignore you. You were just too...
What did you do, Toasty? Why are you laughing in the chat?
damn successful for your own good. You, your men, had worn out your welcome. Everyone was out for you. East, West, First World, Third. It was only a matter of time before someone took you down. And that was XOF.
Did something...
Officially, they're an anti...
Did you pay me? Hang on. Did something pop up? I didn't see it. Hang on, I don't think I'm not logged in. It actually, yeah, that's a thing I remember. It doesn't play whatever audio clip happens when what audio clip did play? Because I don't remember what I actually have there. Hang on. Let me log into my account so I can see what happened. I'll let that play.
Terror unit under the CIA. In reality, they're Cypher's private strike force. They lured you to Cuba using Chico, the Nicaraguan revolutionary kid, and Paz, a mole who worked for Cypher as bait. While you were gone, XOF, posing as a nuclear inspection team, stormed Mother Base. At the same time, C4 they placed on the strut legs went off. The whole thing went down in minutes. XOF. Kisses and hugs, followed by a big FU.
Cringe. Oh, okay, yeah, good. That is the one I still had. I wanted to make sure I didn't switch it intentionally or something to something like horribly racist that plays, which I would not. I would totally do just as a joke, and then forget it, and then it would say something horrific live on stream. Also, I'm so glad that I waited until the last stream of this to find out who the hell Paz was. Yay, you just got your first coffee. Let me see, where does it show? Well, you just said that Greeks and Turks? Like, wow, what a amazingly out of context thing to send me. Thank you. Also, oh my god. I just realized, Toasty, those what a hilarious, again, you send me Greeks and Turks with like a question mark and an exclamation mark, and that message accompanying $5, That is literally the first money I have ever actually made off of my YouTube channel or my YouTube career. That is literally the first amount of money I have actually managed to make. And it's Greeks and Turks. Incredulously. Oh my god, what? Alright, I'm not having a psychotic breakdown. Thank you very much for the $5. I appreciate it. What? No, don't spam money at me. Don't you dare. Does something pop up on screen? God, of course you would ask that. You heathen. I'll have to check what to do about that, because I was pretty sure something was supposed to come down from the top left corner there when donations happened. But for some reason it didn't. I'll have to try. I'll have to figure that out at some point. Also, again, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And now, do not send me more money. I swear to God, I will somehow find my way to Britain and beat you if you continue. I will get the money in physical currency, go to Britain and beat you with it if you keep sending me money unprompted. I will not accept this generosity any longer, you wonderful, terrible person. Like, does something drop down from the top left corner? Or is it just the anime WoW? Because I feel like the drop down should be visible on my end as well. It does? Hang on. I'm just watching back this. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. That does show up. All right. Well, first of all, thank you. Also, yeah, I know I had to turn that off,
good,
otherwise.
that does show up.
Oh God. Whoops. Hang on. Hang on.
All
What is
right, well,
happening?
first of
No.
all,
Stop.
thank you
Stop.
also-
Stop. There we go. Anyways, thank you for that. If for no other reason than to make sure that that system actually does work, because I had no idea.
All because of Miller's blind spot.
What are we talking about? Oh, right.
Door into Mother Base, no one suspected.
Miller blowing
You
it.
remember a certain scientist? Huey was responsible for bringing the inspection team on board, giving the enemy a perfect opportunity to hit you at home. You were returning from Cuba when it happened. Mother Base came damn close to taking you with it into the Caribbean. Those of your men out on assignment returned right away. They refused to believe the wreckage in the water they found was Mother Base. But they checked the coordinates again and again.
What else would be there?
Until reality finally settled in. You were supposed to die that day. That was XOF's primary objective. As far as most folks know, you did. The first doctor to see you wasn't even sure what he was looking at. Before they'd even finished operating, your men moved you to that hospital in Cyprus. There was a woman named Eva who arranged that.
Oh, hey, she's still alive.
Rings a bell, Most men in your condition would have been written off right from the start. But you survived. You went straight down to hell, and they pulled you out. Your eye wide open. Full of venom. The days of naked Snake are long gone. Welcome back, Venom Snake. This world still needs you.
Here, Snake, try this on.
A prosthetic arm.
Yeah, Miller was calling it the arm that wasn't there. The physiotherapy's going well. Your arm's bulked up enough for it to fit. There. Perfect. A little time with it, and it'll work better than the real thing. What do you think?
Huh. I can still feel my real arm.
Well, you better get used to this one quick. You have any pain?
Every now and then.
Where?
My fingertips. My left fingertips.
Sounds like phantom pain.
Oh, you said the
Brain
thing.
still remembers your old hand.
Yeah.
What about your vision? Can you see okay?
Yeah. At the moment.
Now, the shrapnel in your skull is pressing on your optic nerve. I'm told any hard impact could have an effect on your visual cortex.
Yeah. The doctor mentioned that.
Your brain might process visual information.
Is that their reasoning for explaining why the screen gets all bloody when I get damaged? Did they actually put a in-universe explanation for why that happens?
Weather will clear shortly.
In other words,
Kojima,
you
man.
could have hallucinations.
Oh,
You might
good.
see things that aren't there, or not see things as they really are. You experience any of that?
I think so.
When?
Right after I wake up. Colors look faded.
Colors, huh? Well, that's not a major concern in and of itself, but it could mean the difference between life and death in the field. You'll need to watch out for that.
I will.
All right. You should continue your physio. We'll be arriving soon. This is the last chance you'll get.
Alright. Interesting. All the stuff that I probably should have found out ages ago. Oh my god, why? Stop. That is weird. It doesn't appear... Unless it does and I just miss it? You cannot control me or ban my account. I'm gonna be broke. Don't stop sending me money, for the love of God, Toasty. I will start paying. If you send me $5 more, I'm sending you $10 back. You can't stop me. So, this is a problem I knew would happen if I started accepting money, is I would immediately feel guilty about it. Anyways, let's listen to a few more of these.
Kaz, what about the unit that attacked us in the mist? You knew something about them.
That wasn't my first run-in with them. It happened right before I was captured by the Soviets. We were on the Zero line that day, the Afghan side, on our way back from training the Mujahideen at a mountain camp in Kuna
Oh, hello, Jericho. Welcome to the stream.
province. There's a lot of that work in Afghanistan. Most PFs shy away from it because it draws too much attention. But for us, that was the whole point. The job is...
You know, Toasty, I'm also going to say I'm actually not, even though I just said that I would send that money back, I'm not going to, because if you send me money and then I send you money back, more money than you sent me, and then you send me more money back, that's going to look a little bit too suspicious, and I don't want the IRS or whatever the Canadian equivalent is coming after me thinking some kind of drug deal or tax evasion is happening. So I'm just not actually going to do that out of concern.
great. We just had to make it back to a tribal area.
I have not beaten Metal Gear yet, but this might be the last stream.
Pakistan. But all of a sudden, visibility got real bad. It was no sandstorm. Our point man gave this strange report. He said he could see skulls in the mist.
Skulls.
The next moment, he went silent. We scrambled into formation, right before his arms and legs came raining down on us. It was always supposed to be a dangerous mission, so I had Diamond Dog's very best with me. We were calling out to each other. But one by one, the voices just went dead.
Oh,
Whatever happened to me?
I'll check out the stats page as soon as I
lost
finish
consciousness
this.
before I knew it. When I came to, I was in a Soviet camp, tied to an interrogation chair.
Could they be some new Spetsnaz unit?
No. The ones that interrogated me were just the average rank and file. Whatever group attacked us, the way they moved was just insane. And that mist, appearing out of nowhere. The Soviets don't have tech like that.
If they did, Ocelot would have heard about it.
I doubt the West does either. Otherwise, the folks at Langley would be sleeping a lot easier.
Why'd they come after you?
Wish I knew.
I'm the only one who survived. Though I don't think they planned it that way. If I was their target, they wouldn't have just handed me over to the 40th Army. Whatever the case, we need to watch our step until we know who they really are. And boss, if you ever do run into them again, don't try to take them on. You just get the hell out of there.
Okay, I'm not going to listen to all of this.
What about the
Stop.
unit?
Stop. I'm not going to listen to all of this because it's apparently not necessary. Stats. Where are my stats? Database? Nope. Nope. Random question, but are you religious? I'm gonna say... sort of. Kind of. I'm being convinced. I cannot figure out where the stats are. Where are the stats? Seriously. Was I? Database? Can't be. In the main pause was... oh, wait. Never would have tried... play records? I don't know what trial performance is. Okay. Ooh. Alright, that's not bad. Man, I got a lot of money. Still haven't got any nukes. Is that thing they have nothing on? No chicken hat missions. Almost got all the tapes. Don't, Toasty, no, don't you dare. Yeah, I kind of figured that's a pretty weak number in comparison to some people. 1,600 hours, my god. When did I kill 60 people? I don't remember that. I don't know what this means. D-horse, D-dog. What about them? Oh, I guess I could kill people with the horse by, like, running them over or kicking them. Okay. Anyways, back to this. Let's see.
Ocelot said the number of private forces is increasing, and they've modeled themselves after us. They're a far cry from the likes of us. But why? 9 years ago, we made enemies of the world as a nuclear-equipped force, independent of ideology or state. Yes. Sooner or later, the real UN would have stepped in.
The real UN?
PS free reign. That's our fault, too. What do you mean? What happened 9 years ago was a real problem for a lot of people. An organization as big as ours, with our facilities, was wiped off the map. Not an easy thing to hide. But if our existence came to light, so would the names of our clients. We had contracts all over, east and west, from superpowers to banana republics, the lot. Our clients denied all association with the likes of us. They had to make sure things didn't blow up on them. But at the same time, they missed us. They really missed us. The demand for armies for hire was as strong as ever. The international community turned a blind eye to what happened to us, despite still needing people who could do our jobs. History couldn't afford to lose us. As soon as we were gone, they needed a replacement.
Oh, alright, well, thanks for dropping by all the same. I always appreciate it. Hope to see you on... I don't know what's going to be the next. The next one might be more of Mine Mogul. No idea what the next one after that's going to be, though. Like, what will be replacing Metal Gear, assuming I beat it in this stream. Actually, honestly, I might not beat it this stream, because I'm running out of time here. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm pretty much broke now. Enjoy the $15 for your first paycheck. Paid by the evil skeleton in your ear. That is actually a very good way of describing you.
Private forces spread everywhere, and they're all just a phone.
You're the skeleton whispering illegal advice to me.
Away. But still, I know. PFs are totally different from what we envisioned. Nation states, revolutionaries, terrorists. They have a lot of clients, and Cypher is one of them. Cypher stays anonymous, but I know their work when
I can, but I maybe want to listen to some stuff.
Clients, the world's PFs are all just expendable pawns. The clients don't have to worry about losing their own men. Nobody knows they're involved, and PFs are cheap. In short, the world is chewing up soldiers and spitting them out. Even some of the old Mother Base's survivors are still working for PFs. Some guys created their own smaller forces. Others were taken on by emerging PFs. Everybody's gone their separate ways. But none of them are living their dream, because they're not fighting with you. Of course, I tried to headhunt as many of them as I could for Diamond Dogs. It was all a waste of time. They said they weren't interested without you to lead them. But now you're back. And everything's gonna change. We'll unite all private forces under you, transcending nations and economies. What is a nation? Just a patch of dirt. The bonds among us will surpass nations, and that's what'll put the world under our control.
There's a bit more to a nation than that.
Establish a new kind of country. Redefine the very concept of it. Even Cypher will be below us. An extraterritorial federation of military nations. The United States of Force. Once word of Big Boss...
No, stop. Stop. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god, alright. Might as well get through all this, figure out all the lore that I missed all the way along here.
Remember before, boss? When Quiet attacked one of our guys on Mother Base,
Yep.
stuck a knife in his mouth.
Yep.
He's one of the very few soldiers who've had contact with her recently. Close contact. I don't think it's a coincidence that he was among those who became symptomatic pretty early on in this epidemic. Saliva and blood spatter, an open wound, mucosal infection. Whatever is causing this got inside him then.
Miller, that is a baseless accusation.
The source of the infection is Quiet. Everyone suspects her.
We don't know that. And we've come across these symptoms before. The bodies in the water at the oil field facility. Those sick people in the beds at the Devil's House. They're identical to what we've seen while we've been after Cypher. The infection could have come from elsewhere. But at the very least, she does know something.
It's not like she's gonna talk.
No, not through words anyway. But what about her actions? Quiet held a knife to that soldier back then, before he became symptomatic. There must have been a reason for that.
A reason for shoving a knife down the throat of one of our men.
What if she's capable?
Well, I mean,
of
yeah, there's gotta be a reason.
infected? What if she was trying to stop the infection but couldn't communicate that to us? The answer to that, the source of the infection, might be in the mouths of the infected.
You think there's some kind of clue in their mouths?
I don't know. But maybe there's something about the mouths of those who've become symptomatic, something in common.
Something their mouths have in common.
What? You need to stop repeating every second word he said.
Forget it. We can't trust her. Even if she can spot the infected, I don't want her help.
Alright, don't be a
I
bitch.
understand how you feel. But this is something to go on.
Can't you see it's just like I said? Bringing her here was a big mistake. Quiet is gonna be the end of us.
Stand down. You've got zero proof. Try to keep an open mind on this, boss. There has to be a way to identify who's infected.
What was I gonna say? I've completely forgotten it. Nope, it's gone.
Quiet is still in her cell. Only a few staff are authorized to go near her. She hasn't tried anything funny, but that's what bothers me most.
In particular?
What does she have to gain by coming to Mother Base? I first thought she was under orders from Cypher to take you out. She didn't manage it in Afghanistan, so round 2 happens here. So I lighten the guard. And that lock on her door is a joke.
You gave her an opening. And?
Well, she hasn't killed you yet. And I hate to say it, but she's had plenty of chances.
You made me the bait.
Poisonous bait. What better? Anyway, she didn't bite. Quiet is keeping her silence. So I'm left...
That's what it is. Is Quiet illiterate? Like, she can write, can't she? Like, has anyone thought about giving her a pen and paper and just saying, here, just write down what's going on to explain it to us?
No idea, again, what she's doing here.
We tried communicating with her through writing. That didn't
There
work
we
out.
go.
Whether
Why not?
she's illiterate, dyslexic, or just plain stubborn, she won't cooperate.
She literally can't... Alright, she is a failure of a human being.
If she tried to contact the outside, it'd be picked up by our counterintelligence net. But it's clean. There's no sign she's had contact with the staff.
God, what have you sent me now? Why? And why do you pay me to do it? Thank you. Okay, last time put it to use. Thank you, Toasty. I don't know what I'm gonna spend $20 on, but... honestly, that's $20 off of my, pile of madness books that I just bought, so that's probably a good thing.
Base
Thank you.
Facilities, nothing. She's almost got the men wanting her to try something, just to find out what she's up to. And she's in there putting on the failed soldier look, all downcast eyes and defeated sighs. But she doesn't kill herself. She can't be trying to leave Cypher and surrender to us.
So what's the verdict?
This may sound optimistic, but here's how I see it. Quiet came here to fulfill some objective. To kill you, maybe to destroy Diamond Dogs. Whatever it was, before she could do it, something changed her mind. Yes. When I look at her, I sense hesitation.
You think she betrayed Cypher?
Can't say for sure. I prefer the ones that talk. Anyway, we'll keep her under watch. And we're also looking into those special abilities of hers. You'll be the first to know if something comes up. Why not look in on her yourself once in a while?
Right.
Okay. There's so much crap to go through.
Boss, we've gone over the prisoner transport log you found. Quiet was grabbed by the Soviets and moved to Lamar Khatte Palace. They lost a lot of men to her. Can't blame them for wanting payback. But why did she just let herself get captured?
I think it is time you knew. Quiet was carrying vocal cord parasites. The English strain, to be precise. The third English pair. Skullface was using her as...
Okay, so they think that she has the third one. Eli actually has the third one, right? Because, Mantis gave it to him, I recall.
Vector, an ace in the hole if his assassination plan failed. I knew it, but Quiet chose not to speak. She told me the situation in Dene, Navajo, the only language to which the parasites do not react. If you found out, she could not remain among you. And yet, she refused the Wolbachia treatment. Why? Because part of her still wanted revenge. Against you. Revenge against the boss? In order to stay here, she took a vow of eternal silence. But then, that sudden mutation showed this was not enough. As long as the parasites were inside her, she could not predict what might happen.
And that's why she took off? Sacrificing herself to make sure the English strain died with her?
Maybe. Or maybe she only wants to infect the world.
Miller,
Whatever her
stop
plan,
being a doomer.
We can't let her go free. The vocal cord parasites are the last of Skullface's legacy. It's up to us to erase it. Boss, the targets are quiet and the English strain she's carrying. Your objective is to extract her. But if worst comes to worst, she may have to be eliminated. Both her and the parasites.
We don't know for sure what Quiet's up to, but we need to secure her ASAP. She's being held at Lamar Khatte Palace. Make your way there.
Alright. That explains that. At least we figured that out. Alright, what's this nerd been doing?
Just Cypher. Back in the Caribbean, every eye in the world was turned on us. A private army, just a bunch of guys with guns, in possession of a nuke? Why wouldn't they be uncomfortable?
And that's why you made sure the inspection happened.
Well, I thought our best move was to prove to the UN through the IAEA that we had no nuke. Of course, I was against us having it in the first place.
Sure.
But that was Snake's decision.
The boss wasn't responsible.
Well, don't get me wrong, I still believe...
These tapes are just these two going back and forth on if Quiet is the black like situation or if she's innocent. Pretty much, yeah. Oh, hang on, did you just send me more money, you bastard? No, it just took a real long time for it to update me on it.
In Snake.
Also, I can't unhear
I
Quiet.
was making the best decision for
Yeah.
all of us, that's all.
I don't know why she does that. It's very disconcerting.
I figured we should get a third party to exonerate us before proof of the nuke did get out. And who better to do that than an organization with international authority?
So the truth is, you took it upon yourself to agree to an inspection arranged by the UN.
You know you
Only
can't
the
trust them.
inspection was a ruse, and Cypher's strike force, XOF, showed up instead.
I had no idea that would happen.
Enough bullshit.
Oh, sure, like I could have known. You know, I was just trying to prove our innocence to the world. What's wrong with that?
We're not interested in the excuses you thought up. The truth is objective.
Just see it from my point of view.
You led
Huey.
XOF to the control tower.
Huey
They
Emmerich.
seized it,
Is
giving
his
them
name.
complete control over the base. Moments later, they detonated C4 on the strut legs. Anyone who'd managed to survive was hunted down by the assault force and their choppers.
You can't believe I did that on purpose?
That was the end.
I mean, you somehow managed to get out of there, didn't
But it
you?
wasn't the end for
Suspiciously.
you.
How can you... Look, think about it. I lost something too. I built Zeke and it got buried underwater. I am a victim.
That raises the big questions. Why were you the only one spared? You got away without a scratch. Why did Strangelove leave the base on the eve of the inspection? You two were close.
Strangelove?
And how did you manage to build something that surpasses Zeke in every way? Because you did everything they told you. You're the only one who didn't lose a thing. That is the truth.
I was taken away against my will. Skullface forced me to do his research these past 9 years. He used me. I lost 9 years.
9 years. We all lost 9 years. It wasn't just you.
I suppose blaming me makes you feel better, does it? But who's gonna give me back all the time I lost?
You're not getting anything back.
You're not a victim here, Emmerich. You're the perpetrator.
I didn't know anything.
Nobody can back that up.
Yeah, all the evidence is at the bottom of the ocean.
You...
Yeah, I think he's... I mean, I don't think he's responsible for it. I think he's just a complete idiot. Yeah, he absolutely should be shoved in every locker.
Open this thing! Huey! Damn it, Huey! Open it now! Please! Let me out!
I'm not listening to 10 minutes. Almost 11 minutes of someone banging on a pod. I am almost at my limit of tolerating this as it is.
Boss, I have the report on that cargo
cargo we stole from Cypher's.
Actually, hang on.
Open this thing! Huey! Damn it, Huey! Open it, please! Why didn't I stop the hatch from closing? Eat my voice. He did that. I can say what needs to be played even now that he's... Make it
Alright,
happen.
bored. Bored. Very bored.
Boss, I have the report on that cargo we stole from Cypher's truck. The PF was transporting two things. The analysis of that malachite has come back first. Naturally, the main compound is copper. There's also a small amount of cobalt. Nothing unusual so far. Southern Zaire is a well-known copper belt. However, in addition to these, we also detected a trace amount of uranium. The content percentage, though, is too low for nuclear development. It most likely came from Shinkalobwe mine. That's where the uranium in that area comes from. The mine's closed, as all the high-purity uranium ore dried up a long time ago, but you could probably still find it there in small quantities. That said, there are plenty of other uranium mines that are in operation, like in Niger, Namibia, South Africa. Why go to an abandoned mine to scrape up whatever's left and ship it out in mass quantities without refining it? They were transporting that yellow cake too, which would suggest they have the technology to refine uranium. Anyway, that about sums it up. Unfortunately, the analysis of that yellow cake is taking a little longer. I'll let you know when it's done.
Alright.
Sorry to keep you waiting. We finally finished analyzing that yellow cake Cypher was moving. There was nothing unusual about the composition of the yellow cake itself. Most of it was oxidized uranium, with the rest being impurities, various metals, as well as traces of organic matter. What's interesting is the composition of these impurities. When we checked them against the impurities found in the copper ore, it was clear the yellow cake didn't come from Shinkalobwe, meaning they went to the trouble of mining two sources of uranium, then transported them together in different states. Another thing, we detected a very thin layer of highly enriched uranium in the middle of the yellow cake. Now that is very interesting. It may not be a lot, but it points to the existence of uranium enriching technology. After all, yellow cake can't naturally produce highly enriched uranium. If they could mass produce this, they'd be just one step away from a gun barrel type nuclear bomb. But uranium enrichment requires advanced technology and a large-scale facility.
I know, Toasty. It's like... She does that constantly, and it's very... Just like, stop. You need to stop, you woman.
The Soviet Union wouldn't sit idly by. And there's another question. Where were they transporting the yellow cake and malachite uranium? The first place that comes to mind is South Africa. The government was supposed to have abandoned nuclear weapons development after caving to international pressure.
Yeah, except I don't think they did. I think they made nukes with the Israelis. Because there was a nuclear... I can't remember when this was. I think sometime in the 80s. Some satellite caught 2 flashes off the coast of South Africa, which, the 2 flashes indicate a nuclear bomb exploding, because that's what they do. And it's like, yeah, no one took responsibility or claimed they were doing any nuclear tests there, and I think everyone's theory is like, yeah, the South Africans and the Israelis were secretly working on nukes together. That was what was happening.
That it's continued in secret. Plus, CRS were escorting the truck, and they're based out of South Africa. And then South Africa does have an abandoned test site. If Cypher's involved with nuclear development in South Africa. But how would that fit with their weapon to surpass Metal Gear?
Is Cypher Mossad? Is that what they're getting at?
We need more information.
Shinkalobwe. There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so much crap. Alright.
Hard to believe how many of those bipedal weapons have popped up around Africa. When did that start? No more than 6 months ago. Didn't really hit me until I came here.
They're not supposed to be in use yet. Emmerich says they were still doing the last round of fine-tuning.
The doctor has no idea. His research has already hit the black market. Both sides of the Iron Curtain will have it by now. Even so, they're spreading much too fast. Sure, the Walker gears can operate in any terrain. Their mobility's just as good in the jungle as it is in the desert. That would come in handy in a place like Africa. They are modules that can one day be used as nuclear weapon systems. And with that in mind, the numbers are way too large. There must be another reason they're so widespread.
Like what?
It's all about needs. To small-time outfits like most of these private forces, this product is a dream come true. Hell, it goes beyond PFs. This is the ultimate weapon, the forbidden fruit. For anyone with an enemy to fight and people to defend.
A nuclear deterrent.
Exactly.
Toasty, what in God's name are you talking about? What does that mean? You find videos of animals or anime characters with waving yellow hand going hello over and over. Are you having a psychotic episode, or is this like you're going to inflict on me later?
They're all operating off your playbook. You created these times. But could this be the new weapon in Africa that Emmerich talked about? If it is, why is Cypher letting everyone and his brother get their hands on one? What comes next? Selling nuclear weapons in the open? Making them public property?
Why don't they give that a try? Then the next war really will be fought with sticks.
Right. The man we're dealing with isn't foolish enough to make a suicide pact with the world.
Actually, he is.
What is Cypher really up to?
Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We're almost there, I think.
Boss.
Oh my
about
god.
those invalids you saw in that devil's house.
I don't think you're allowed to call them that anymore, Ocelot.
Down to the beds, with those lumps on their chest.
The medical staff tell me they were probably a type of cyst.
Cysts can get that big.
In some cases, yes. But supposing they're a kind of atheroma forming on the surface of the skin, the size is just too big, and the appearance...
Oh no, you found another Asian cooking.
is all wrong. In the end, the medical team were at a loss. Those lumps were like nothing they'd ever seen. The fluid you said you got on your prosthesis when you touched one was burned off in the fighting, and the factory burned down too. None of the tests we did once you were back at the base revealed a pathogen that could have caused them. Meaning we don't have a single sample to work
Oh,
with.
okay.
Everything
Good.
went up in flames.
But also bad.
What worries the medical team most is whether it's contagious. Whether there's a chance we could end up like that.
And?
Mother Base's sanitation control has always been strict. After all, war is great at transporting diseases. For the time being, at least. There's no sign of contagion or any symptoms that could be related. One more thing. About the surgery that had been performed on the people in the Devil's House.
Yeah?
You said that their throats were cut open, with an acoustic tube pushed inside?
Right. The tubes were hooked up to tape recorders, playing some kind of audio.
Well, we picked up some of that audio through your radio transmissions and recorded it here. The intel team has been working on analyzing the communications log.
What have they found?
There's nothing tying the contents together. We've got a report on 3 deaths in a car accident on the autoroute near Marseille. Protests outside the Libyan embassy in London. A press conference with the former Prime Minister of Sweden. A 4-month-old weather forecast for Balikpapan. And then commercials for appliances, cough syrup, and TV dinners. Assuming they're not all staged, they come off as recordings of your average public broadcasts.
Public broadcasts? Just radio and TV signals?
Yes. And from all over the world. We're looking into whether they're genuine or not, just to be sure. What else? A speech that sounds like it was recorded out on the street, and people chatting about how this year's tomato crop did.
And there's nothing they have in common?
We're partway through the cryptanalysis. That includes checking all audio ranges and running it backward and at different speeds. Then there's vocabulary breakdown for political suggestions, ideological comment points. But I don't think it's going to get us anywhere.
Where were the recordings made?
There's nothing linking them from that angle either. Just like you reported. we've detected virtually every major language there is. French, German, Italian, Spanish, including South American accents. Then there's Russian, Hindi, Arabic, Portuguese, Mandarin, Cantonese, Japanese.
They're nothing if not thorough.
Well, I don't know if we've got them all covered. Ignoring the ones that have gone extinct, supposedly over 5,000 languages exist today. Besides, English isn't one of the ones we picked up.
Really? English?
I know. Only 5% of the world's population is a native English speaker. But when you factor in those who've acquired it as a second language, nearly 1/3 of the people speak it. The world's dominant lingua franca. You gotta figure they had it somewhere among all the languages in that place.
No English.
Bear in mind, we didn't hear everything that was played in that room. We couldn't isolate the more distant sounds due to static, and the program could have been set to change every day.
Oh no.
In a nutshell, for reasons unknown, people in that room with a common medical condition were made to listen to recordings in languages from around the world. It's not clear how the growths on their chests fit into it. It could have been treatment for them, or maybe an experiment of some kind.
I'm guessing one person knows.
Yeah, Skullface. He was there. The only thing we can say for sure is that he's involved.
Well, whatever you just sent me looks like it's gonna be horrifying. Can't wait to watch that after the stream.
Snake, I wanted to ask you about the man on fire. What do you remember from the hospital? Anything we can use?
Well, he took off the moment the sprinklers started up.
Sprinklers? The fire system?
And when he got sprayed with water from the burst pipe, it slowed him down.
When we escaped on horseback, he wouldn't cross the river either.
And then it started to rain. And he disappeared.
Water against fire. Is it that simple? I mean, it makes sense. It's just hard to believe it would work on a guy like that.
Okay, very insightful. You know, I'm kind of curious what happened to this guy because they haven't really acknowledged him.
You mentioned that the man on fire was crushed under Sahelanthropus in its hangar.
Yeah. He was caught under the wheels of its transport platform.
But his body wasn't found.
What?
We searched the area the moment we arrived, but there was no trace of him.
I wasn't hallucinating.
I know. I trust you on that. That means someone must have taken the body. But when I got there, everything was still as it was. Even Skullface hadn't been touched. I can't see a reason to sneak into a place like that and drag out the biggest, heaviest guy there.
What are you getting at?
The only option left is... he got up and walked away.
That platform ran him over.
Just ran him over.
You're saying that's not enough?
I don't want to believe it, but maybe not. He shrugs off bullets, even rocket strikes. There's no reason to think that would finish him. It seems ridiculous, but I'll start gathering eyewitness accounts just in case.
If you dig up anything concrete, I want to know.
You'll be the first, if I dig anything up. But I hope to hell I don't.
No kidding.
Alright.
Volgan, the GRU colonel, was burned alive with a Shagohod during Operation Snake Eater 20 years ago.
God, was that 20
Despite
years ago
suffering
now?
severe burns to his entire body, he still clung to life. After you left Seleniarsk, Volgan's body was taken to a research institute in the outskirts of Moscow. But modern medicine couldn't explain why he was still alive. Not that the colonel was any ordinary man to begin with. That constant electric current he had running through his body that he could unleash at will. To be honest, I was always uncomfortable around him.
I can
Thought might get
imagine.
electrocuted just by standing nearby. The institute studying him was tasked with investigating and developing human paranormal abilities. The comatose Volgan was used to further the Soviet Union's research into such abilities. But not long ago, the facility burned to the ground. And Volgan's body was never found among the rubble, even though the fire started in the room where they were keeping him. This occurred at around the same time you woke up. If Skullface was right, and a thirst for revenge can turn a man into a demon and keep the dead alive, then this man on fire who's been coming after us ever since you woke up, well, that just might be what's left of our old friend Volgan.
So basically, Volgan got killed, but was too angry to die, and then as soon as I woke up, he teleported from Moscow to Cyprus with a flaming unicorn to try to kill me. How very Metal Gear of you.
Back in '64, in Seleniuarsk, you brought his plans for a utopia down in flames.
When was that?
That grudge is what's keeping him alive.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The day the research facility holding Volgan burned down, a Soviet jumbo passenger jet happened to crash nearby, far away to the north of that hospital in Cyprus. On board the plane was a young boy who was being studied at the same facility. The plane fell to Earth from over 8,000 feet, but the boy's body was the only one not recovered. At almost exactly the same time as the crash, Volgan awoke in that facility. According to the Research Institute's documents, the gifts this boy demonstrated included psychokinesis and telepathy. To protect his mind from being inundated with other people's thoughts, he always wore a kind of gas mask. A rudimentary form of psychic insulation, apparently. We don't know where this boy is, but if Skullface is connected to him, we may cross paths with him yet. This boy is part of a new age, where nothing we understand about the world makes sense anymore. Don't let your guard down.
I can see that you're quite tired based on the crazy nonsense you're sending me. Actually, no, you do that all the time. That has nothing to do with it. Okay, I'm gonna... I'm gonna get through all of this. And then we're gonna end the stream, I think.
Boss, we've got the results of Eli's genetic tests. We can finally put this worry behind us.
We used the PCR technique and conducted DNA fingerprinting of the copied DNA sequences. Neither is mainstream science yet, but the concepts and procedures are sound. Both tests say there is 0% chance that the two of you are blood relatives, meaning the results are negative. He's not your son, nor is he your clone. He's just...
Well, isn't that because Snake isn't
It was 12
Snake?
years ago that Zero made plans to clone you. Eli's age and appearance certainly are a good fit. I admit the first time I saw him, I did a double take. But it looks like we were worried for nothing. Eli isn't your clone. Though you might still have one somewhere out there.
But if Eli isn't the boss's clone, why does he seem so obsessed with him? Not to mention having one hell of an attitude for his age.
Well, he's just a little piece of shit.
Learning the truth about himself, cursing the fact he's a clone, bearing a grudge against selfish adults, and coming to hate who he was cloned from. Big boss. If that were really the case, I could understand it. I might even feel a bit sorry for him. But no clone could have a totally different DNA fingerprint. And the test left no room for error. You yourself were there when we drew Eli's blood sample.
Come to think of it, when we went to OKB-0, he'd snuck onto a chopper and was there.
Yeah.
He was acting strange even then. Or actually from a little before that time.
So what I'm getting from this is that Ocelot took the blood sample, determined that Eli is not Snake's clone, and Miller's just in the back sweating because he knows that Snake isn't Snake, and it's like, yeah, that is weird. I don't know what's up with that. So much of their dialogue is just copying one another 5 times before finally dropping information before returning to copying one another. Yeah, that is pretty much exactly what it is.
Maybe he suspected something when we drew the sample, not knowing what we were doing to him, and becoming mistrustful of us.
Hard to say. Eli's had an attitude problem from day one.
So what is he then?
Well, if he's gonna tell us that himself, we'll need to get him to open up more first.
Beat him. Destroy the child. You know you want to. Oh my god, it never ends.
About the pathogen spreading through Mother Base. You've seen everything we've got on the outbreak. What's your opinion?
Textbook symptoms of vocal cord parasite infestation. And judging from this casualty list, it is the Kikongo strain, meaning a breed of parasite It triggers symptoms upon detecting pronunciation specific to Kikongo.
So our Kikongo-speaking staff are at risk?
Quite so.
He's right. All the victims do speak Kikongo.
So they can survive if they just use another language?
There is no guarantee. You're only dealing with the Kikongo strain. Other language strains may be present. You well know he was teaching them languages from all over the world.
The Devil's House. Nzoya Badia Bulu.
There is no way to know how many strains he has at his disposal.
So how do we keep them from becoming symptomatic? You mentioned using microbes.
Use this. A type of Wolbachia. Introduced to a sample of the parasite.
Wolbachia?
A parasitic bacteria that colonizes the parasites, turning male to female and preventing copulation. You must cultivate more. What have you done with the infected bodies?
Cremated to stop the spread of infection, but we did keep a few for study.
Good. Take this sample, grind it to a pulp, and introduce it to the larvae now nesting in the dead. The Wolbachia will multiply rapidly within those larvae.
They're soldiers, not some petri dish.
Conventional cultivation methods will take too long. Extract the Wolbachia from those larvae and vaccinate your men. Kikongo speakers first. This is the fastest, surest way. No one is to speak a word of Kikongo until the Wolbachia are safely inside them. I will instruct your medical staff in detail on site. You have the appropriate facilities.
Yes, but
do not worry. I made a pact with your bit de Jolone on the honor of the Dene.
What any of that means?
Speak no lies.
Keep an eye on him.
Will do. Follow me. I'll take you to the medical team.
Now,
Dying.
must wait for the Wolbachia
Dying of
to
cringe.
multiply in the larvae.
How is the disease transmitted? If it's carried by insects or rodents, then...
There is no intermediate host.
So...
The vocal cord parasites lay their eggs in the larynx of the host. Most hatch and migrate to the lungs, but some are transported to the mouth through ciliary movement, mixing in with saliva.
Saliva. Droplet transmission.
Sneezing, coughing. Any food or water containing infected saliva. It would spread fast.
Indeed. And when the larvae migrate to the lungs, symptoms can resemble the early stages of a cold, making it easy to infect others.
Meaning a simple conversation would be enough to pass it on.
Alright, so what happens after the larvae migrate to the lungs?
It is as I said before. They mature by feeding on alveolar tissue. It is only then that noticeable symptoms appear in the host.
And by that point, it's too late. He's infected everyone else. It's one hell of a weapon you've created.
That is what Blag Ana wanted. Something that would spread easily. In truth, he's not the reason. But we will discuss that another time.
No, we won't. I have no care for what you will discuss another time. I'm just trying to get through this so that I can finish the game at some point. Oh my god, it never ends.
So, Tucker, what are the metallic arcades?
Volcanic craters spewing sulfur. Water hot enough to boil your skin off. Ocean depths of 800 plus atmospheres. Wastelands radioactive enough to kill you where you stand. There are groups of organisms that survive despite. No. Because of living in such environments.
I've heard about them. Extremo... something.
Extremophiles. By by selecting certain species, then subculturing and repeatedly modifying them. I created a metallic offspring of pure archaea. They subsist on metals rather than organic matter.
And some of them even consume uranium?
Yes. Uranium enrichment archaea metabolize only uranium-235. As a result, they produce weapons-grade enriched uranium.
How is that possible?
Consider how plants fractionate carbon isotopes when they conduct photosynthesis. Nature possesses abilities beyond our imagination.
So it was archaea that brought down your chopper?
Corrosive archaea, yes. They oxidize metals, feeding off the energy in the electrons they receive. What became of the wreckage?
We had the R&D team retrieve samples for study in airtight plastic containers, of course.
Prudent. We shall extract archaea from it in good time. They should help you fight back against Blagana.
Any chance we could start now? It doesn't have to be a lot. I might just have another use for them.
If it's only a small amount you need.
That's fine. I'll get the R&D team to assist. Let's go.
Yeah, I know. I'm running out my patience on this. Like, I don't want to not listen to the stuff because I don't know. I haven't listened to any of these things yet, so I don't actually know half of this lore that's being talked about. But at the same time, also, it's like I'm almost at the end of them. I can't just give up now, so I have to just keep going and suffer eternally.
This is yellow cake that Cypher is having the PFs transport. Before we met you, the boss recovered it from a truck crossing the savannah. Are there metallic archaea inside it?
Yes, the archaea metabolize uranium-235 to subsist. They must be stored inside yellow cake, or they cannot survive.
So those biological traces we took for impurities were actually the real cargo?
Of course they are deactivated, so they do not trigger a sudden enrichment. They are like baker's yeast. Yet, they do gradually enrich the uranium as they feed. I imagine you detected weapons-grade traces.
Yeah, we did.
And the malachite that was loaded on the truck had traces of uranium in it too. So that's the flower, huh? Skullface was gonna sell do-it-yourself nuke kits. The uranium-enriching archaea complete with a user's manual. And the ores with the uranium could be sourced by the client or provided by Cypher.
Even the trace amounts buried in common ores can be enriched to weapons-grade uranium by the metallic archaea. Proving that must have been the most important factor of the trials. That and the ability to successfully prevent detonation.
So if the amounts of uranium in the ores are low enough, they can get past any inspection. And you only need a tiny amount of the archaea to act as the yeast. No great challenge to smuggle that either. The first step towards saturating the world with nukes.
His plan. That was not my intention. My only goal in developing the metallic archaea was to save the Dene.
I don't know what that
Make a
means.
tool for creating...
The one that covers the parasite that lives on the surface of the skull's bodies is what gives them their power. Similar to my children who live in my skin.
What?
I modified the parasites I isolated from the body of that old man.
What are you talking about?
Them with various abilities. One that can blend perfectly into its surroundings by exposing the pigments in its cells at will. Another that, by harboring multiple species of metallic archaea, can oxidize and reduce metal. Isolating the one that covers and transplanting it into an artificial medium should provide the same abilities as the skulls, but they can only subsist within a human body. Once transplanted into the medium, they will eventually die.
Another thing,
This is very cruel that the only way to beat the game is to listen to all of the, like, extended reading. Like, this is bullshit.
of the one that covers is desiccation. Their surface moisture loss is greater than ours. The reason they give off mist is to alleviate this by releasing the salts inside them as microparticles. Water vapor condenses around them, appearing as mist. But this dries out the atmosphere until they cannot even produce mist. And once their supply of water from the host runs out, the parasites are in danger. They, along with their host, enter a form of suspended animation. However, a similar effect occurs if they come into contact with a large amount of water. Rain, for instance. The one that covers will temporarily abandon other processes in its eagerness to absorb the water.
I realize I'm supposed to... was supposed to...
Make the weather your ally.
I realized that I should have done this as I was going, but I didn't think I would have to listen to everything in order to actually beat the game, so I just didn't care.
Why activate Sahelanthropus in Afghanistan? This is how Skullface wanted things to play out. The Soviet Union secretly develops a new type of nuclear weapon and successfully deploys it in Afghanistan. Revealing the existence of Sahelanthropus results in a return to the glory days of the Cold War. The threat it poses reignites the nuclear arms race between the worlds.
Yeah, like, a lot of this is just Kojima being super autistic and like, okay, I need to elaborate on every single thing because I wrote down like 7,000 notebooks of lore and I need to share it with you people, whether you want it or not.
Nuclear weapons increases around the globe. What if you then introduced a nuclear weapon anyone could get their hands on? Non-nuclear nations, militant groups of all shapes and sizes, they'd all jump at the chance. Sahelanthropus was a marketing tool to sell nukes all around the world. But I think it's safe to say that plan was stamped out before it got up and running. The world's intelligence agencies never did turn up anything conclusive on it. After all, Sahelanthropus vanished before word could spread. Everything that's happened is already a fading memory, never to join the pages of history. Except for Cypher. Cypher won't forget. They'll already be working on something, quietly, beneath the surface.
Didn't we wipe them out?
They'll use the pieces of data scraped together from this incident to build their own bipedal weapon. It'll take them a long time to complete it, but for now, the greed sector have found their new life's work. We'll have to be ready too. Skullface, real name unknown. Born in Hungary, more specific.
I can't. Not. I'm so near the end. I can't just give up now. I have to for the autism.
From Romania.
Was this guy a vampire? Are you serious?
The country allied with Germany is part of the Axis powers, but later during the war, it came under Soviet occupation. The Hungarians struggled for independence, but the Soviets came down. Hard. Just like he said, time and again the country was ruled by a foreign tongue. When he was a young boy, he lost his native language, the bedrock for any developing child. His country, his family, his face, his identity, everything was stolen from him. All he had left was his skull. Skullface first tried his hand at espionage during all the chaos from the war. Agents, military officials, and soldiers who operated out of Hungary during the war vanished over the course of several months. This Soviet spy hunt rocked the counter-intel world. Mysterious fatal illnesses, accidental deaths, drownings, people having strokes behind closed doors. Just like Stalin, no one knew who was behind it. But all you need to do was look for who had the motive. They were all taken out by a man without a face. And now we've got an idea of how he did it too. He'd gotten revenge for his people, but he wasn't finished. Skullface defected to the west, eventually ended up with the SAS. That's where he met Zero. It's possible he began planning this whole thing back then. It's hard to say. In any case, Zero made him his XO. He always did have a thing for oddballs. But this one was set to lead a unit no one else would know about. When Zero created Fox, he also formed XOF as a support team. An unconventional special forces unit designed to support Fox, make it stronger, with Skullface giving the orders. Zero never even told the boss about it, nor the CIA, naturally. If Fox was Zero's silver bullet, XOF was the recoil when he pulled the trigger, just like Newton's third law. While you were with Fox, Skullface was operating behind the scenes, sometimes as your backup, sometimes as a mole or a scout, sometimes as your cleanup crew. Fox's tail, making sure the mission succeeded and that you survived.
Okay, these ones at least are going to be sort of relevant because this is all, you know, stuff that I'm presumably going to be dealing with in a moment. Or in the next stream, rather.
Boss, we gave Ralph, that kid who died in the accident, a burial at sea.
Good, threw him into the sea.
That facility has been severely punished. But ever since, the kids have been acting strange. It's obvious they've lost their trust in adults. I was getting reports of them ignoring the staff, or getting insolent, and even violent. And a few days later, several of the kids did a disappearing act. They snuck into choppers and shipping containers and got off base. Why? Your guess is as good as mine.
I don't know why we didn't just kill them.
In a war zone and forced to grow up as war fighters. If they're left alone, war is how they'll die.
Yes, so we should leave them.
Showed them there are other reasons to live.
Nope, you can't do that.
Having children on Mother Base, but the thought of them going back to the battlefield and picking up their old lifestyle is something I can't stomach.
I specifically said this doesn't work.
9 years ago, we have to get those kids back. Hell, they know too much about our operation.
We could just shoot them.
I never expected even the kids to betray us.
I did. I expected it the moment we got them. We should have just shot them.
Snake,
throw them in the sea.
You remember the White Mamba?
Yep.
Of course, he's been going by Eli since we brought him on base. He was the leader of the child soldier unit we took out of that village and into our protection. Well, according to the kids you brought back here, all the escapees were especially close to Eli.
No shit.
There's reason to suspect he's behind all 6 escapes. We've already detained him. I'll be questioning him shortly.
Wait. You'll be?
Ocelot.
You're incapable of taking an impartial stance with those kids. Question them all you want. It'll get you nowhere.
Ocelot, you get too many kicks from your art of interrogation.
It's not a matter of art. It's about quick, minimal strokes of psychological warfare. That's what gets the answers. And it's the best way to keep both questioner and subject safe. The risks only increase the more an interrogation drags on. At that point, it causes as much pain to the inflictor as the inflicted.
Like I said, too many kicks.
What I'm trying to tell you is we need quick results. Otherwise, it'll be too little, too late.
I know that.
And besides, I know the subject. I won't go overboard with a kid.
You could.
Forget it. You're not needed.
I'd be fine with it. I'd allow it.
We'll want to question the other kids, too. Be sure to bring them all back.
No. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I feel you.
Snake, about the escaped children. Eli confessed.
No
The way
kidding.
he tells it, they wanted to go back to the battlefield. Don't rob them of their freedom, he said. If you bring them all back, there will be consequences. Next to be asking for our surrender.
Consequences?
Should have just shot him.
Consequences.
No idea. That's all I have for now.
You're too attached to those kids. Stop protecting Eli.
Yep, just kill them all.
Yourself.
Let me question him, and we'll get some real answers.
Not necessary. I'll report as and when.
So again, I'm assuming this is the thing that that Ocelot doesn't know that Eli is actually Snake's clone, but not this Snake, whereas Miller does, so he doesn't want to get anything sabotaged, really.
We found weapons in the children's section of the living quarters. As you know, weapons are strictly off-limits. We've got some rule breakers. The weapons we found were handmade. Blades ground out of knives and forks, a couple of bow guns built out of scrap, and explosives made using detergents. And get this, the explosives were tightly packed with nails. The kids put the blame on, you guessed it, Eli. I guess that's what he meant by consequences.
I questioned him about it, but this time he claimed they want to be put out on missions. Send us to the battlefield, he says.
Miller, enough is enough. You've protected him too much already. It's my turn to question him.
Protected?
What Eli's doing is issuing a threat. Comply with my demands or I'll respond with force. But it'll be war at this rate. Forks and soap aren't gonna kill us, but some of them will end up dead. Is that what you want?
Yes. All of them, preferably.
But they want to be on the battlefield. It's time you gave up this fantasy.
Eli, he said they'd rise up against us if we bring the last kid back.
There, you see? Ignore his demands. Don't let him return to quarters. That attitude is contagious. We'd lose control over them for good.
For the time being, we've confiscated those handmade weapons. We're bumping up security and the number of psychiatric counselors. As for Eli...
Don't give him counselors. Beat his ass.
You mean solitary?
Throw him in the sea.
Well, we can't leave him in contact with the other kids. If you won't do it, I will. Boss, keep working on extracting those kids.
There were so many solutions to this problem that you just didn't let me take.
The kids you brought back to base have laid out the situation. They all escaped to each of their home villages, or were trying to get home, and lost their way. Not that homesickness is gonna explain everything we've seen.
Each of their home villages? They were trying to raise troops for the rebellion.
You really think these kids have an armed uprising in them?
We've seen that they have.
Reported the security team member who had a rock thrown at him. There'll be a riot if we don't do something.
Did you throw
Miller,
a grenade at the kid back?
You didn't act fast enough.
Fine. I'll admit you were right this time.
Seal off the kids' quarters from outside contact before it's too late.
All right.
Eli said his rebellion would start when the last kid is brought back, right? You better be ready to meet him head on if it really happens.
Yeah.
You should have left it to me.
We could just shoot them right now. That is totally an option. I'm down with it. I wouldn't even hesitate.
Boss, they're just kids. We have a responsibility to see that those kids make it.
No, we don't.
Not feeling protective or the pros and cons. I hate kids. That's exactly what I heard from the people who raised me. People who abandoned me, more like. That's the spark that kept me going, you know? I wanted to show those adults what I was made of.
Yeah, that's not a good
To
thing.
get back at them one day.
That's a bad thing.
Before I knew it, I was all grown up. Never saw it coming. All of a sudden, people treated me as an adult. Some adult I turned out to be. But I feel like if my life had been different, if the adults I knew had been different, I could have grown up better.
Nope.
Yeah, that's it, all right.
I mean, yes.
I wanted to use those kids to test that theory.
You're wrong.
That's all this was. From their point of view, I'm no different from the assholes who gave me a hard time.
Yes.
When this is all blown over, I'll talk it out with them.
That won't work.
If that's still possible.
They've already developed their
But
psyches.
there are still kids out there. Bring them back safe.
There is no consolidating this problem. It's over.
Me. Eli's revealed what he wants. He wants to speak with you. With Big Boss. He just said, bring my father here. Eli's too smart for his own good. No way to tell what he's thinking. All we know for sure is his men are important to him. That means we can use the escaped kids as leverage in any negotiation. Once you've brought the last one back, I'll interrogate him. If the kids do rise up, we'll meet them full force. End of story. I didn't want things to turn out like this. We could have prevented it, but it's too late now.
We could have just shot them in the
If
mine.
Eli needs to take this all the way, he's gonna force us to do the same. Boss, go get that last kid.
You do not I would have been totally fine with... How long is this one? I don't care enough to see the rest of that saga. Okay, I've got... I'll watch that. I'll listen to that one again if these are short. They're not short.
Finished decoding the informant's report. That floating kid we've run into a few times now.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he was a test subject in clinical experiments.
We've determined this ages ago.
The Soviets called him the third boy. The third boy was brought to a lab on the outskirts of Moscow from Czechoslovakia, after which he was due to be sent to a research center in Leningrad, then Siberia, and finally an academic town in Novosibirsk. It doesn't appear that the researchers witnessed the talents we've seen from him, but nevertheless he was quite the popular subject. His latent cognitive abilities suddenly awoke en route to Moscow. According to the report, the third boy was easily influenced by other individuals' biofields. Evil thoughts, in particular. They affected his mind like a virus. Extreme anger or resentment, motives for revenge, in other words. Now, during the transport flight to Moscow, the boy was exposed to a powerful mental energy field coming from a certain individual. Ever since, being conscious of his powers, he's become a sort of energy generator. What's unique about him is the way his acute telepathic abilities get taken over by another person's will. The boy began to physically parasitize individuals experiencing extreme anger and codify the host's desires. This includes amplifying the host's natural strengths. Or, in accordance with the host's desires, he can also implant program code in another individual, making them a puppet, essentially. Human neural synapses transmit weak electrical currents between neurons.
Stop trying to
These
activate the
electrical
sleeper
currents,
cells.
though at a level difficult to observe, warp the magnetic field outside the body. The third boy is able to pick up these weak fluctuations. Contrary to psychotronics, which involves controlling the human mind, his abilities as a receptor are too high. The emotions he picks up from another individual are amplified and unleashed into his body as they recur in his brain. They turn into microwaves, which then affect the physical world, triggering paranormal phenomena like the spontaneous combustion of organic matter or psychokinesis, moving an object without touching it. There's one other thing. While he's parasitizing a host, the boy's ego gets shut away, allowing the will of the host to take control of his powers. Like some annoying static drowning out your own voice.
How did you find out any of this?
Responsible for what's been happening. Somebody's extreme anger has manifested through the third boy's powers in ways none of us could have predicted. Which would mean this was going on somewhere around us.
Cool, man. Oh my god, it's so long.
It makes sense now. The man on fire, Sahelanthropus, they both came to life thanks to the third boy's powers. Everything has been happening through him as a catalyst. We first saw him in the hospital on Cyprus. The boy parasitizing the man on fire's desire for revenge gave him his new abilities in return. He next appeared at the Hamid Fighters Fort where the honeybee was hidden. There, the boy parasitized Skullface's vengeful mind. He controlled Sahelanthropus, making it do whatever Skullface wanted. Same goes for when we extracted Emmerich onto the chopper. When he appeared at the Devil's House in Central Africa, Skullface's will controlled the man on fire via the third boy's powers. Everything is clear up to this point. But even the informant couldn't pinpoint who the host was in the cave within Surat power plant. Sahelanthropus suddenly became active, then crushed not only the man on fire, but Skullface as well. Surely neither of them could have been the host. Who else was at that location and bore anger more extreme than either of them? Whose will was controlling Sahelanthropus? According to the report, emotions transmitted in children's brains affect the surrounding magnetic field more strongly. Cerebral nerves are covered with insulation called myelin sheaths to increase impulse speed. The reason for this leakage has to do with the fact that children's myelin sheaths are still developing. So, how many children?
What is that from? Is that?
There? Children with
That's from The Shining, right?
Revenge and bearing a grudge against you. I can think of only one. Eli. We don't know what kind of life he's had, but the resentment he's shown toward adults is nothing short of extraordinary. The third boy resonated with Eli's mind. And that means Eli bore the strongest animosity of all individuals within the boy's reception range, estimated to be a 3-mile radius, beating out even Volgan and Skullface. The third boy has probably remained hooked on Eli's anger since. You remember at the Devil's House, the third boy showed an interest in
What is that from? That sounds...
That must have been his ego making a rare appearance. He may possess abilities far beyond anyone else in the world, but he's still a kid. Maybe them both being kids was enough to bring them together.
Right, PT, okay, yeah.
He isn't feeding off him.
Of course, I was gonna say, I even recognize the tone in which that's said, I just can't place it.
So what kickstarted the third boy's
Oh my god.
If we look at the location and time that his plane went down, we can make a pretty good guess.
Each one gets longer.
When the plane experienced the first anomaly, it gave an accurate report of its position to a control tower. Due north of the Black Sea, 125 miles east of Kiev. Dead south on the Black Sea is Cyprus's Greenland. So the plane's position was directly north of the hospital where you'd been asleep for 9 years. And this anomaly was reported at exactly the same time that you woke up. The plane was enveloped in flame from the inside out. The fuselage burned to ashes. There were no survivors, at least not publicly admitted. Your thoughts formed a synchronicity with the boy's psyche and were amplified inside his brain. That would have been more than enough to trigger his abilities. Your rage was like a big bang in his head, blowing the lid off his powers. The boy was then secretly moved to the lab outside of Moscow where Volgan was comatose. There, Volgan's thoughts resonated with the boy and he was awakened. Volgan became the man on fire.
What are you even talking about? I have not been listening to a word you said, man.
Instincts led him straight to you. Skullface knew Volgan from Operation Snake Eater, or perhaps from even before. Monitoring this pair of extraordinaries, he discovered the hospital and sent his assassin and XOF. Skullface was probably watching the situation from close by. Then, realizing how useful these two test subjects could be, he approached them. Reacting to Skullface's thirst for revenge, this time the boy let Skullface's will control Volgan. Volgan, at times driven by personal revenge, at times through Skullface's will, kept on moving, though his body was little more than dead meat. Perhaps there were moments where even your thoughts affected him as well. But without the boy's power, it was like the plug had been pulled from the socket. Everything was powered by anger, malice, revenge. This is how the end of the report sums things up. Both the third boy and the man on fire were originally test subjects of paranormal research for military applications, like telekinetically controlling the leader of an enemy nation and making him launch a nuke, or stopping the heart of someone on the wrong side of the Berlin Wall, experimenting with latent human abilities. They were used as tools of the Cold War. The boy's only crime was being born with unique gifts. But he was sacrificed on the altar of war. His life reduced to slavery under other people's wills. Turned into a living weapon with no will of his own. Eventually, the only emotion he could feel must have been the desire to get revenge for the hand he'd been dealt. Boss, it's you that awakened the boy's powers. But there's more to it than that. I guess the anger emanating from you was something he could truly relate to.
Oh my god. I'm gonna do this one and it's gonna be like, okay, and this last one, 17 straight minutes. Oh my god, it's, okay.
12 hours after exposure to the blood of a symptomatic colleague, I found myself making my way up the stairs to this room. And I am not alone. Everyone who's infected, we've all come up here wanting to get outside. I know full well I mustn't leave, given the possibility I'm infected. Yet, I can't contain this urge I feel
It's almost
inside
over.
me.
It's almost over.
Like the alcoholic who tries to make any excuse for one more drink. Every step
So close.
I took up those stairs filled me with this sense of bliss.
Hamburger,
I
yes.
still have all my wits about me. It took no time at all to rewire the electronic lock and open the emergency exit. Then, just as I was about to set foot outside, I finally realized what was going on. This desire for freedom is not my own, but that of the vocal cord parasites inside me. They want the ravens to feed on us, pecking us to death, attracted by these sweet secretions. They have mutated to facilitate this. The sweet smell is powerful enough to attract even a species with such a weak nose.
Why are there ravens in the middle of the ocean?
Before the parasites take complete control, I must. Most of the staff in here are already infected. At least, everyone I've looked at is. Infection with this parasite causes a high fever in the pharynx. I have modified a pair of night vision goggles to react only to this temperature range.
And when did you manage to do that?
With these goggles, you can identify who is infected. Other infected will, like me, feel compelled to make it outside. If the ravens get their meal, they'll head for land next. That cannot be allowed to happen.
Oh my god. Everything is crazy and you and my arms take care of the riding. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm assuming you're losing your mind like me. Oh my god, that took forever. Oh.
Development project has been added. Please, plant expansion complete.
I don't care. I don't care. So... now what? Nothing else has happened. I'm assuming...
Please select a mission.
what was the last one? 45? No, 46. I'm assuming... I'm assuming that's because I don't have, the last Mother Base Soldier mission hasn't appeared yet. Because I've got, like, all of these other side ops. But... the 10th... Mother Base Soldier hasn't shown up yet. Which, since that seems like kind of an important part of the plot, I'm guessing that's what needs to be done in order for this to actually finish. So, the next stream is going to be doing as many side ops as I can. Actually, hang on. Extract one, wait, 10? 10, 9, Well, hang on. So, I had 1, 2, 7, 9, 10. 1, 2, 5, 6. So I'm assuming there's an 11th? Because I'm still missing one photo. Do you have any side ops at or near Ave ship off ruins? Hang on. So that is... Okay, we got this one. What is that? Nope. Eliminate the heavy infantry. Maybe do that one, and then it will open up. However, I just did one of the mother base soldiers in that area at the beginning of the stream, so... Do that, and I think it unlocks. Okay, well, it's... At this point, I've been going too long, so I'll do that first thing next stream. And just get this done. Finally. God, this game is really fun, but it has its moments of misery. Like, you can have two side up. Ah, okay. Like, there was this whole ordeal, and then there was, like, having to sort through every single person in my base for someone speaking Kikongo. And then there was the various times I had to fight the skulls. It's like, there's just like a couple incidents in the game that are just like, I want to die. This is hell. I am in the unthinkable agony. Just make it stop. Yeah, let me look something up here. Okay, Did I miss... Hang on a second. So I've got 10, 9... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What? For some reason it's saying there's only 10 of them, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Weird. Either way, I'll figure it out next stream. I'm done for now. I cannot take any more. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone who endured that hell with me. I wish, honestly, I would have been cool if someone had told me to actually listen to those as I went through the game. I would have, because if I had known that I could avoid this hell, I would have absolutely done that. But I didn't, so I shall suffer. Anyways, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, press all the buttons and follow me in all the places. I'll probably be doing, hopefully, Mine Mogul next time, or maybe I'll just play this and try to actually just get it done with. I don't know. I'll figure that out then. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. But until then, good night. Bye. Oh my god.